away from the eastern square, and we're making your way through the city's streets towards the western barricade when that had occurred. As you were traveling, the bird continues to sort of fly with you, and as it does, Willoughby, you can hear it sort of cawing back and forth as the group is running. You can see Periwinkle and Beldrith are sort of trying to continue behind you all as you're running along. And the Raven says to you, Willoughby, as it's speaking, it says in a very sort of thick, sort of bird-like sound, I guess. The wind brings strange things to Barovia, Forest Daughter. Storms, siblings, blades, and bones. He kind of keeps going, and he seems kind of flying, and he flies forward, and he kind of sort of lands on the side of a building, just kind of waiting for you to kind of catch up as you're kind of running along.
I'll ask it. What's in the center of town? What are we expecting?
It says, he says, man with the red mark, his hands, they tremble, his heart does not. He carries a duty, it's too heavy for one alone. He needs help. You see him kind of take off, and he leads up to the next building as you guys are running. You quickly see Periwinkle is running as fast as you are, but Riptide has this crazy sort of speed that just kind of continues to run right past everybody as he's keeping right up with you. Right? Because don't you have like super fast speed?
Yeah, I go 40 feet here.
Got it. As you're continuing to run, Willoughby, do you still have spike growth on, or is it off?
It would be on. It lasts
on
for a minute. Sorry, 10
for an
minutes?
hour?
Let me double check.
It says 91. I just didn't know if you were keeping concentration on it as you were running, which is fine. I just want to make sure you had it with you.
Yeah, I'll keep it up until I need to drop it. Yeah, it lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay, that sounds good. So as you're running, Grappa, you see that your mirror image sort of drops off as you guys continue to kind of run down the street. You obviously are dodging between sort of the barricades and whatnot, and you see the people sort of in the street kind of protecting the eastern barricade or moving towards it, and you can hear Hildreth kind of saying, hold the line, people, hold the line, there could be another wave as you guys are running, and you can hear him wheezing behind you. As you continue to move forward, you can hear the bird says up front, he says to you, Willoughby, he says, dark wings, watch the roads. Not all wings serve the same master. Kind of flutters up ahead a little bit more as you're moving, almost as if he's trying to talk to you as you're running, right? As you guys get towards the center of the square, you can see the statue that's there and the barricades that have sort of been constructed, and the tents that are sort of on the western side of the center of the square. And just then, before he flutters off, Willoughby, he says, "You've been marked by the starlight, old one. Some in the shadows remember the light. Some will answer it." And he sort of flitters off as he goes off into the distance, and you can kind of see him circling up into the sky as he disappears into the darkness. As that happens, you can see that you guys running through there's bodies that kind of litter the street in front of you. They appear to be bloody and unmoving, and you can see that the air is sort of thick with this pungent scent of rot and death, and the wind is kind of howling as it sings the song of sort of terrified screams of people up front. You can see off onto the far west of the street, the barricade that was protecting the town square has been shattered, it's splintered, and its remains are surrounded by a mound of corpses that are nearly 6 feet high. In the square where you've just walked through, the children are screaming as the elderly and the infirm sort of watch in muted horror. Torches to the west of the city have sort of been extinguished at this point, and the town's western defenders have either been fled or killed. You see there's one figure that remains standing. You see Ismark. His clothes are torn and bloody. He bears his long sword in his left hand and his short sword in his right. About 20 feet away from him stands a pale-skinned zombie. His flesh is smooth and sickly white that bulges with crimson veins. His eyes stare dully towards the tents in the town square and beyond. And you can see this cloud of reddish mist that spills out gently from his gaping mouth. It takes a shambling step forward towards Ismark. I'll give you a map here in just a second. If you would like, you can re-roll initiative, or you can keep the same initiative. I'll leave it up to you.
I mean, if I'll go with the group. If no one else is re-rolling theirs, I'll keep mine.
Second.
How'd we do overall? Like, mine's not super great.
So his mark is
I have a
20.
10.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can see him on there, I think.
I guess I'll re-roll mine. Mine's pretty
Alright.
potato.
Yeah, let's reroll.
Yeah, I'm re-rolling.
Oh, mine's even more
Oh
potato.
no! I wasted a 20.
Oh no!
Oh, man.
Oh, did you all waste them? Did you all waste good rolls?
No.
Just checking. Just checking.
Rip and Pip are fighting to see who goes last.
Oh no!
Is Bear getting the same as me?
Bear does get the same as you. Yes. What did you roll? For me, Fozzie?
I got a 22.
22.
Nice.
All right.
Well, the good got better at least.
All right, so the folks are sort of kind of back with you back here. You could see Ismark down there at the end by the barricades, and you can see a creature that you all know very well down at the end. I have to check Ismark.
This has a beautiful map.
Doesn't this person do great maps?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to try to use their maps throughout most of this if I can. I think they've done most of them, redone most of them. All right, so as you see, Ismark is sort of standing over there at the far end, and you can see the other creature just is gently starting to shamble towards him. What would you like to do, Fozzie?
I'm trying to grab my token, but it won't let me.
Okay.
I want to go straight ahead.
You want to go straight ahead? How far? How far do you want to go? 30? Can you grab that marker that I moved? Can you grab that? I'll move you. 30, you said? Oh. All right, that's 30.
And that puts him in range, so I'll take a shot at the zombie. Are there any penalties for Ismark?
No.
Bear's gonna run his movement plus a dash to there.
Perfect. All right, Lillaby.
Alrighty. I am going to wild shape into my elk.
Yay!
Yes.
So that gives me, that's a bonus action. So that gives me 40 feet of movement. And Greg,
Yeah.
wild shape's a little different. I'm
Okay.
in starry form right now. It
Yeah,
lasts 10 minutes from before. So
Okay.
I still have that as a feature
I
because
see
it's a
that.
class feature.
Okay.
Right?
And then how does it work otherwise? Is there anything else that's different? Sorry. Put you on the
No.
spot.
Nothing right now. I mean,
Okay.
because I'm not a moon druid. So
Okay, got it. Okay, perfect.
anything
So,
I like concentration that I cast before a wild shape, I can still hold that kind of a thing. But I can't cast anything like any spells or anything like that. And
perfect.
but I can do the stars form.
Okay. Thank you.
I I'm sorry, but I'm gonna need to have you change your icon to the elk form.
Yeah. Greg has to put that on there for me.
Oh, do I
'cause
really?
I can't do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Okay, all right. I could change it. I thought you could change your own. I'm sorry. I'll get you.
I can't. I tried. I have to look in the the inventory.
I'm gonna have to make the icon.
That's hilarious.
I have a mission.
Can't get it. So I'm just gonna dash because I can't reach him with anything else. So
All right.
that's my turn.
The game will have to wait until I can make the tactic. Sorry, it's just the way it is, people. It's just how it is. So a periwinkle there, you see, kind of looks over you, Riptide, and he says, "I'll protect the children." And you see he kind of moves over to the children, and he kind of gives them little hush tones. He's like, "It's okay, it's okay." And he's just kind of over there and kind of softening him around as he's got his spear there in the ready. Rip.
Makes me wonder. There's only one zombie down there?
Just one.
Huh. Are we getting baited? Are we getting...
What?
Getting
Who do you,
baited away
what
from
what
the
type of
kids?
game do you think this is? Gosh, getting baited. Played with me before or something.
I'm gonna move to there, and then...
In a gothic horror, you think you're being baited?
I'm looking around as I'm running. Do I see anything?
What was that again?
I'm looking around as I'm running. Do I see anything? Out of the ordinary?
Not with your passive. I mean, if you wanted to roll a die, you could do that too, but nothing that seems obvious to you necessarily.
I'll dash up to there.
All right, let me. Whoops, sorry, I double clicked on.
Are you gonna hop on that? Rip.
Hey, maybe. Yeah, I'm 5 away.
Oh well, if I
If it's
know he's
allowed,
coming
right?
back,
If
let
it's
me
allowed.
back up, Greg. Let me back up.
Okay, I got it.
I hop over the rear hind legs and hop up.
All right.
All in one motion.
Nice. There you go. All right, perfect.
I'm gonna
With my
action
my
dash
hair
and go to
flowing
that
in
spot.
there.
Yeah, because I rear up on my back legs.
Oh my god, it's there!
It's close. I had to do a close up, but it's there. It had to be a close up. So, but we got it.
That makes my night.
No,
That's my favorite.
I don't know if I can change it back to Little B, but at least I got that there. So
I'm good with that if she's
Alright.
stuck like that.
forever.
Alrighty.
You running up to there?
Yeah, take the dash action, and Bear and I are gonna hang out. We're gonna cuddle.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I like it. That sounds good.
Yep.
Alrighty. The speed. It's 30. Alright, so he the zombie with the red veins and the sort of this red miasma coming out of his mouth as he's moving forward, steps up towards Ismark. As he does and he gets there, you see he swings his arm towards Ismark. He misses with the first attack. He swings the second one towards him. And misses as Ismark blocks it with the blade. Aldrich steps forward. And steps right next to you, Fozzie, and he says, "Well, this is it, isn't it, my friend?"
It's certainly something, that's for sure. There's only one of them, though.
Yeah. Yeah, but he took me out. And Ismark swings his sword. As you hear him swinging his sword, he says, "If I'm the last one alive, I will protect Barovia." Ozzy.
Are there any ladders up to the roofs?
There is a platform. You can see that building to the north. There's some steps that kind of go up to a second platform that's 10 feet up. If you wanted to go up to that, you could. Just north of Bear. I don't know if there's any ladders specifically here. Maybe around one of the buildings there is.
Okay, I'll use my
Perfect.
action to run up to there.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, so you run up the steps and get a high vantage point.
Bear runs up.
All right.
All right, so this is what we hear. Oh no, it didn't work. Anyway, so
Was it a bleat? Oh, it would have been great.
It
if a bleat.
was.
Oh,
It didn't work.
awesome. Oh, I love it. Next time.
Face doesn't change, but the vocal cords do.
so I couldn't get line them up to do a to mow him over because I've got to run at him 20 feet straight.
Oh, got it.
But what I can do is I'm coming up and get within range. I'll do my Starry Farm Archer.
Okay.
So I'll attack him.
Sounds good. Nice.
And then when I get, that's a bonus action, and then I will attack him with my, what do you call it? The moose rack?
Attack him with your rack!
That's right. Attack him with the rat.
Oh my
Get racked!
Oh man.
I believe you screamed, get racked.
Get racked!
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Knock him prone, too. Great.
I can actually talk in this form. That's the other change.
Get out of here. That's cool. That's really
So that's what it sounds like. Get racked! There you go, Rip.
cool. That's awesome.
Your
I love
delivery
it.
service has been completed.
That's
Please give me
awesome.
4 stars.
Oh my god.
Naturally, that token's debut would crit.
That's awesome. All right. All right. So Periwinkle is working in the back. Actually, he's gonna come up. Rip. You're on the back of.
Alright.
You're on Elko Lillaby Elk.
I'm gonna hop down. Ooby. It's like my rip off of Uber. Thanks for the courtesy laugh.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'll use 1 point. Oh, we don't have any. Well, it hasn't been 10 minutes yet, has it? Has it been 10 minutes since the first time?
Probably running through the streets. It's probably been. It took some time, so sure, we can call it 10 minutes. That's fine.
Well, if it's 10
no,
minutes.
no, it hasn't been 10 minutes. Not quite 10 minutes. Sorry. I don't know. It depends.
I lost. Well, if it was 10 minutes, let
Yeah.
me do my. When we re-rolled, I'm gonna do my uncanny metabolism. You can regain all your expended focus points, and then I can heal myself, but I don't need to heal myself. I should have asked that when we re-rolled.
That's okay. This is what I'm gonna do. So, if it's even, it was 10 minutes. If it's odd, it wasn't. Odd, it wasn't. Okay, there we go.
Okay, so I'm good. I lost the map.
Oh no! Here, I got you.
Oh, there we go.
You got it? Okay, good.
I'm gonna hit it.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit it again.
Okay.
And on this one, I'm just gonna grapple it.
Nice.
And it's grappled. That was my bonus action, and we're good.
You're welcome.
I haven't heard that in a while. Yeah, nice. Grab it.
There's my third fate of movement.
Like it. All right.
We are going to tell the zombie that it could use a different color than red in its, I don't know, wardrobe. Nice. Oh, yeah. So it is going to now also disadvantage on its next attack. Fishman. That's my turn.
All right. As he's laying on the ground and Rip is there, his head.
Oh man, we didn't need a percentage roll to see if he's laying face down. I'm just throwing it out there.
All right. Okay, so that's good. All right. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. That's a 50-50, right? We'll do a 50-50. He's laying face down. So it hits the ground and comes up into the air all around you, and 30 feet radius. I need everyone to make a con saving throw that's in the circle.
I tried.
It worked, sort of.
I'm gonna use my inspiration to reroll that.
All right, sounds good.
So how many is that? Like all of them?
Yeah, I think it's all of them. How'd you do? Nice, good job. So everybody saved. Let's see how Ismark did.
How does Bear do a save?
Oh!
Ooh.
So Bear has saves as well, and I believe. Look. I think it's predetermined. Take a look here real quick. I think I coded him incorrectly, but he's Beast of the Land, I think is what he is.
Yep. And I get to add my proficiency to his.
Okay, yeah, that's what it is. So his con save would be +2 plus your proficiency bonus. So what's your proficiency bonus?
In that specific
No,
con, or is that
no, proficiency bonus is what your bonus on your front page.
+2.
two?
Plus two. All right, gotcha. So I'm going to fix all of these. So you see on his character sheet where it has a save one that's there, you just double click on it. Or I can actually drop it on. So either click on it or where it says save +4, or I can drop it on. Up to you.
Where does it say that?
If you double click on his character sheet, the bear character sheet,
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
you see where it has con and it says, it should say 15, and then there's a mod +2,
Oh, yeah,
save
yeah.
+2. Yep. If you click the +4 save, it should roll it. There you go. Perfect. So he saved. So Ismark did not, but everybody else saved. So I'll just drag half of this on everybody else. So. Oops. Oh, well, he got half again. Big whopping 3 points. Wow. Killer. Did anybody get more than they were supposed to? No. Okay, good. All right.
Seem like think the music did get really quiet though.
Did it get super quiet? Let's see if I can fix it. Oh yeah, this one is. Sorry, the song's kind of quiet in the beginning.
Nice.
Bear moves over.
Zombie plague spreader.
Nice. That's awesome. That's great.
All right, so I rear up and like, do you still have them grappled?
Oh yeah. Rip does.
All right.
Yep.
So I like stomp on top of them. Would that be with advantage or not?
Yeah. He's prone, so yep. Yeah, it should roll. It should roll advantage for you automatically.
All right. And Starry Wisp, it should roll at disadvantage automatically because I'm ranged.
Oh yeah.
It's a ranged. Okay.
It should. Yep. We'll see. We'll check and see how it does, but it should do it automatically.
It did not.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, I rolled a 1 and a 20.
Oh no, you hit an ally. Oh no. Oh. Oh.
Oh no, and I don't have enough to re-roll.
Oh no. Hate to say, but it has to be Rip. He's
Go ahead.
grappling it.
Yeah,
It's got to
go
be
ahead and
Rip,
hit me.
right?
Go ahead, hit me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, Rip.
I got something for this.
It's the pecs. Hit him in the pecs. Hit his pec.
All right, just drop it right on him.
Yeah, that'd be great. Oh.
Rip's so distracting.
I know, right? Exactly.
That's what he gets for flexing at the wrong time.
This is what I get for not building tougher monsters. I have to have the players hurt the players more.
Well, this is a big, glowy elk.
How much damage did I take?
6.
6.
Okay, I'll do deflect attacks
Nice.
with my reaction.
Like it.
Nice.
I'm good.
Perfect. Perfect.
The horns got away from me. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
All right, Ripper.
How big is this zombie?
So it is. Have you ever seen the movie I Am Legend
Yeah.
with Will Smith? So it's kind
Yeah,
of
but
so that size, so a little bit taller than a normal human being. It kind of has that sort of appearance, but obviously white and has kind of the red veins, but sort of has that sort of look to him. So he's a little bit taller, probably about 6'3", a little bit stockier.
Oh my God. The imagery of a 6'3" zombie like grappled by Riptide is
Right?
killing me right now.
By a 3
I'm
foot.
just imagining it's like a little kid holding onto your leg.
Right.
There's like a tick on his like leg.
Right, Riptide has him tied up like a pretzel, right? So he can't move at all. Like his limbs are all like
Yeah,
wrapped
yeah.
around like a noodle.
Sure, yeah. He's like a backpack
Oh
on
God,
this thing.
I don't even want to look. I don't even want to look.
Oh no.
I know.
What is it?
Nervous. Oh, nice.
Oh, it's my turn. Oh, my bad.
It's all good.
I'm a hot mess. All right, I'm attacking.
Nice. That was your attack. I thought that was thunder. I was like, that was well timed. So
Yeah.
Wow. This one's got some hit points.
Bam, bam. I'm gonna move. Cause this bard's a slappy bard. This bard's a dance bard. But you know, I'm still gonna just do this until I can get close enough. So I'm gonna yell at him that he needs to stop eating, I don't know, salty foods or spicy foods, because whatever he just burped up was disgusting. And then, man, I'm rolling hot. Boom. Take that.
a good wisdom save for him. That's good. -2. Nice.
I don't mind those -2 modifiers.
Right. All right. Well, he kicks at Rip. Kicks at the Ripper. Misses. He's gonna slam against Rip. Trying to slam against the ground. He's gonna miss again.
He should only have disadvantage on the first attack from mine, at least. Because it's just the first of his attacks, not
Is
all
it?
of them.
I think he would have missed on both, but
He's still prone anyway, right?
yeah. Thank you though for letting me know.
Yeah, I figured maybe the prone and grappled is the other part of it.
Yeah,
But at least for my stuff, it's just the first. Grandpip's like, don't worry, guys. In the meanwhile, I'll send insults.
I want to see what kind of dances you're doing when you hurl these insults.
His dancing really gets in earnest when he gets within melee distance. That's when the dancing really picks up.
And the slapping.
Slapping.
Ismark. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep thinking that's you guys. That's me. Buzz.
It's getting kind of crowded up there around that zombie, and he's laying on the ground, so
Yeah.
I'll just run up to there.
Okay.
Nice. Almost dead. Rack up those kills, Lily.
Doing my best. Is he still alive?
He is. So as you stick the blade into him, is it the blade? What did you do? What damage
It's
was
called my big ol' hoof.
Yeah, oh, I like it. So as you stick the big old hoof into him, you see the head cracks to the side, which clearly looks like it would kill him. And then the head just sort of twitches back into place. And he just turns his head and looks at you again.
Oh, well, then I shoot him with my archer.
Don't blame you.
Oh, not another one. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, sorry. I rolled.
I love it.
The-
You did it twice.
I
That's
clicked
great.
the wrong thing.
Yeah. And there you go. Now he's down and out. As his body falls down to the ground, Ismark kind of reaches down and looks and takes a breath. What is that? He looks to you guys.
Well, we saw one on the other side too.
Really? He just kind of stares off towards the gates and he looks to you guys. Is the eastern gate held?
Yeah, the eastern gate is still holding. Last we were there.
Turns and he looks back. Is the people starts making his way down the street. Are they okay?
Yeah, for the most part.
Makes his way back down the street. Oh, sorry. Here, let me unlock. Should be able to walk now. Sorry.
Rip and I are like trotting along by him.
Can I ride the elk?
It's up to the elk.
It's large, I think. Yes, large.
Yes, can I ride the elk, please?
Fozzie's got arrows all over the place.
Oh yeah, is Fozzie gonna go clean them all up?
Oh yeah, but he's gonna. But I mean, what I'm saying is, I'm still on the stairs.
Oh,
And
there you
go. Okay. Yeah, I'll pick up my arrows.
all right, you got it.
I'm
All right.
I'm gonna be mounted on the elk.
Okay. So as you guys you're sort of riding back, you Lillaby, as you're moving through, you see a small sort of dark silhouette again, kind of plunges down through the skies, and you notice that it's the Raven again with his blue-tipped wings kind of flashing again in the torchlight, and you see him dive quickly down, almost getting your attention, and then dives quickly into the air, not saying anything at this point. As he does that, you suddenly feel a sudden stillness falls over the barricade, and an uneasiness sort of creeps into you, almost a feeling as if a feeling of dread into all of you. You see everybody in the camp sort of looks around very nervously. Ismark stops walking suddenly and looks. You see Periwinkle looks at him, and Bilrith as well, and you can see the fear in people's eyes. Here, way off into the distance to the west, this distant toll of what sounds like bells that seems to be ringing off into the distance from nowhere or everywhere all at once. You can see a mist starts to float into the town through the streets that's there. You look off to the west and to the north and to the south, and you don't see any sort of monsters or creatures or zombies at all. You start to hear the sound of what sounds like a single set of hoof steps squelching through mud. You can hear it, and it sounds like it's coming from the west, off into the distance. And in the shadow of the western road, you emerge a rider coming on a single horse, all cloaked, silent. And on that horse, you see that this black horse comes, and it has almost what looks like a glowing smoke coming out of its nostrils of the steed. And you notice that the hooves, as they come through, doesn't even appear to stir up the mud that's there. The figure moves with sort of an unnatural precision. Each movement is deliberate. Each pause is heavy with this sort of unseen menace. Behind it, you see a trail of at least a dozen shambling undead flanking the horseman on its side as it walks. The flickering torchlight paints the man's features in shades of burning orange and red, revealing a tall, lithe figure, dusty complexion, long black hair that falls past his neck as he makes his way through the street. A light cloak is draped across his shoulders, the edge rimmed with a thick white fur, and gloves of supple black leather cover his hand. A deep blue tunic, trimmed with bronze, is visible beneath the layer of tough yet flexible leather armor. curved saber hangs from a sheath at his belt, and a pair of scimitars is strapped to his back above it. His ears taper sharply upward to elven points, and his dark brown eyes bear quiet awareness and a casual, almost predatory gaze as they shift slowly across his surrounding. Looking, a long, wicked scar cuts across his forehead, just above where the lines have begun to mark his face with age. His lips are pulled back in a thin and perpetual frown.
I wonder if this is the horseman that the seer saw would ride.
So as you guys can see him moving forward, you can see that Ismark is there, and you can almost see everybody kind of leaning back, and he stops just before the barricade. I know I had said kind of go out through the town, but the barricade that's just kind of above you, about halfway through the town there. Let me see if I can get a... There you go. And as he does, you see the rider halts just beyond that small little barricade that's there, and he surveys the crowd with a hollow indifference before speaking. His voice is soft but unshakably clear. He says, "This siege is the will of Strahd." He lets the words hang in the air, and the sentence not just spoken but handed down like a decree. He says, "It is not for you to question the actions of your betters." Kind of pauses for a second. And he says, "I am Rahadin, chambermaid of the castle, chamberlain of the castle Ravenloft, a humble servant to my lord."
What did he say his name was?
My name is Rahadin.
I chuckled when he stumbled over chambermaid.
I know, right? Yeah, good job, Greg. Good job. And as he does, he kind of gestures almost lazily behind him, kind of pointing to all of the zombies that are behind him. He says, "Interfere, and I will show you what mercy means in Barovia." As he stands there and looks to the city just to see if anybody does anything, he reaches down and pulls his cloak aside, and as he does, he reaches inside and he pulls out a scroll of sorts. Maybe I don't.
So it's an interesting term, analogy. If we interfere, he's going to show us what mercy means. That's interesting. I'm thinking I'm definitely going to interfere now because I want to see what mercy means.
Right? He grabs the scroll and he sort of rolls out the scroll that he has, and he looks out and he says, as he reads across the paper, he says, 57 days past, the people rose in an unlawful rebellion against Strahd van Varovich, Count of Barovia, Master of Castle Ravenloft, and Protector of the Balanic Mountains. For this treasonous act, this settlement has been met with the righteous punishment, and so that its inhabitants might learn the weight of their defiance. Witnessed by the eyes of the dead and the damned, this price has been extracted in blood, common and noble alike. Let it be known that on this day the mercy of Strahd van Varovich extends once more unto those who return to their fief and field, while those who continue in their folly shall be swept away like as chaff before the wind. Kind of lifts up his eyes and he's kind of search across the group there. And as he does, he rolls up the scroll and he slowly makes his way, very slowly on the horse, making his way towards the group.
Well, I'm nervously stomping, wondering what my riders are ready to do.
I'm kind of evaluating what's Ismar's reaction to all this.
I'm climbing up on top of this barricade here.
Okay, gotcha. So you guys are kind of moving around. You see Ismark is just sort of standing there looking at him. As he gets closer, you start to... you almost feel this... It's like it begins as a dull roar, almost like a prickle at the edge of your awareness. something just off in the distance. Like if you've ever had your ears start to ring, you can feel like just barely on the periphery. You can just barely notice it, almost like something sort of washing over you a little bit.
Yeah.
As he grows closer, however, this muffled sound, it grows ever more insistent, sort of amplifying, building upon itself, almost like ocean waves as they build over and over. And as it becomes almost like an innocuous sound, it becomes even more heavier and heavier. And the closer he gets, it's almost this wave, a torrent of screams. And as he gets even within 10 or 15 feet, you get this, your ears are filled with a cacophony of thousands of voices, bleeding, suffering, dying, screaming. This psychic onslaught of crashes into your mind from every direction, leaving little room for thought. I mean, it's overwhelming, this sound that you hear. But the man, as he walks towards you, he's unflinching. He doesn't even seem to notice the symphony of screams that surround him. It's almost unbearable as he continues to make his way there towards you. It's unheard of. And you can see even the people in the background, like the kids are cowering and hiding, and you can see that even from their distance they can barely handle it, and that's from a long ways away. And you can see Baldrath is sort of cowering in the distance. Ismark stands strong looking at him, but clearly you can tell he's petrified as he's standing there. And you can even hear the kids crying in the background. And Rahadin looks down to Ismark and he inspects him briefly up and down as he sees he's battered and bloodied. And he says, Ismark, please accept congratulations on your new positions and my condolences on your loss. And he sort of nods to him curtly. As he does, you see the horse turns around and he starts to walk out of town without any paid of heedance to any of you. And slowly starts to make his way through the town, and the voices start to recede as he starts to make his way as he continues to go. You can see Ismark is standing there stiff, stone-faced, staring off as the man slowly makes his way out of town. Once he gets to the zombies, you see the zombies slowly start to turn behind him and also start to make their way out of town. As they do, you see that everybody starts to just sort of stand there in shock and horror, looking off in the distance toward this man.
Ismark, what does he mean by new position?
Ismark just continues to stare. Whoops, I need to change that. Continues to just sort of stare off, looking into the distance as he says that. All of a sudden, Ismark's eyes get wide. He goes, mouth opens, and he goes, oh my God! And he immediately drops his swords and starts running to the south at full speed.
Willoughby, follow him.
Periwinkle says, he's gone. Oh, wait, I didn't even get to, I didn't get to say goodbye. And he looks to Rip as you say that, Grappa. You can, Willoughby, if you want to chase him. And he says, you Rip. Perry reaches into his pocket. He pulls out this like small little wooden toy soldier, and he says, Ismark, wait, shoot. I wanted to tell him his dad gave me this when he was little. He said I was a brave guard, and he said I was a brave guard. And he says, now, Rip, you be brave guards and protect him. And he thumps his chest and he says, I'll watch the square. I'll be the guard here. I promise you. Okay. I got this.
Okay.
And he immediately, you see Ismark runs off. What would you guys like to do?
Well, I don't know if Rip is still riding me, but I know Pip is. So we're following Ismark.
Can we ride double?
I'm a large beast, and you guys are small, so it's up to Greg.
I'm okay with it if you want to. I don't mind.
16 strength, so I should be able.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it sounds fun. Why not? I like it.
I'm sorry, Rip. I didn't even see you were already on. You were already saddled up.
I just hopped on.
All right. So as you guys continue to run down the way, and as you do, you hear Periwinkle goes over, and as you're running away, he says, Bildrath, I think The Burgomaster died. Bildreth says, yeah, I know, Perry. He puts his arm around him. It's okay. Come on. So, hear him sort of like... all right, so you guys kind of run down the street.
Yep.
And as you're going, you can hear Bildreth, kind of sort of directing. He's like, all right, able men, down to the west end of the street. Come on, they could have another counterattack. Let's go. We gotta get this reinforced. So you guys continue to make your way down the street. As you do, you can see, even down at this end of the street, you can see that people appeared to be shooting over the... remember I told you on the south end of town where the Burgomaster's house is, they had built some barricades around the walls because the town had been opened on that end by the houses there. So they had built sort of a wall, and it was kind of a moat. Yeah. So you could see that there had been some people along the wall, and clearly there had been some battles there. There's a couple bodies that are laying on the side there. But the wall appears to have held for the most part as running in that way. And shortly behind him, Ismark, he's on that full run down the way. Obviously, you guys are... What's your speed, Lillaby? Is it still 30, or does your speed change on the elk?
50 for
50.
the elk.
Holy smokes. Okay, all right, gotcha. So you're melting down there, and then Fozzie, or I don't know if you can ride the bear, but probably... Is he medium? He's medium size, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't need to ride him. We'll run side by side.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so you see them take off, and Fozzie, you and the bear are kind of running behind the group there, so you can see the other ones running in front. But as you're kind of going, Lillaby, you are able to catch up with Ismark as he's running, and you're able to catch up to him probably about, we'll say probably 30 or 40 feet before he gets to the door. Are you just going to continue with the speed, or are you actually going to kind of overpass him?
No, I'm trotting with him.
Okay, gotcha. Alrighty. As he's running, you can hear him. As he's running towards the door there, you can hear him yelling, "Father, Father, Irina, Father!" And as you're running towards it, you can see that the door is ajar on the. Okay, perfect, excellent. You can see the door is ajar to the Burgomaster's house. And you can see what looks like maybe a candle burning in the house itself. There's a light off to the distance. But the door clearly is sort of swinging back and forth as if it's been left open at some point. As you guys are running, you do see that he kind of runs up to the top and bursts in through the door. And I assume that you kind of follow as well.
Yeah, well...
I don't know how... I mean, the elk's going to be a tight squeeze.
Yeah, I'm not bringing the elk in.
I'll hop off and follow.
All right.
I'll follow when I get there.
Okay, sounds good. So Ismark kind of runs in before you all, and you can hear him kind of run in, and he immediately looks to the right, and he's like, Irina, Father! And he peeks in, and you see him dodge into a room, and then he comes out, and you see him run across the other way as you guys are sort of dismounting, and Lillaby, you're doing your sort of transformation. I assume it's pretty instantaneous.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. At that point, Fozzie and Bear are able to catch up to you both as you're coming up, and so your whole group is there at the door, sort of standing there all together, and you can hear him inside yelling, looking for him.
I'll start looking around. Does it look like there were signs of a struggle or anything on this floor?
Great question. So as you look at the house, you didn't notice this before, but now that you do look at the house, you see there are literally like huge gouges and scratch marks all on the outside of the walls, where it looks like beasts or something has been scratching at the walls, pretty much all surrounding the house, both not only on the inside, the interior of the city walls. You don't know what it looks on the exterior, but definitely on the interior. And you don't either remember that from when you came to the house the first time, or maybe it was there and you just didn't notice it because of the crowd and the riot.
Oh. Is Irina anywhere in here?
So on the outside of the house, she's not. You don't see her on the outside at all? Suddenly you hear a loud female scream from inside.
Oh, let's go inside and make sure something bad isn't going on.
And you hear a loud male sort of,
Yo, yeah, I'm gonna go in and try to figure out what's going on.
All right. So as you go into the house, are the rest of you the same, or do you do something differently? Are you going around the house in a window
I'll go in whatever direction that Ismark did. See if I can find,
through the door?
yeah.
Okay, got it. That sounds good. Same with Rip and Fozzie, I assume. Where?
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So as you all kind of make your way into the house, you know you could see which way Ismark went first and it didn't work and then went in the other way. So as you go in, and you've been in the house before, so you know kind of where the kitchen and the dining room is, and you make your way and you can hear the screaming and the crying and sort of wailing now, and you know that it sounds definitely like there's a male and a female voice. And as you make your way through, you get yourself back into the parlor room on the first floor, and you can see there's a Irina as well as Ismark are both there on the floor, and you see there's a large red pool that surrounds the Burgomaster's unmoving form. His glassy eyes are staring unseeing towards the ceiling as blood drips from a long, elegant slash across his chest. Not far away, you can see, Irina is literally laying there on the carpet next to him, just sort of sobbing. And right above her is a boarded up window with ragged curtains that are sort of drifting lazily in the cold wind, which used to be boarded up. It's not anymore, with the wind kind of blowing through the wind itself. And you can see Ismark is there, and he's kind of picked up his head, and he's just cradling his father's head as he is just crying in anguish about his dad. And he's like, "Oh, Father, Father, I can't believe it, Father." And Irina is just sort of crying anguish, but she's pale. She looks very, very sick. She appears to be breathing very quickly, hyperventilating. She just looks really sick.
Irina, what happened?
And she's like, "I don't feel good. I don't feel good." And just then you see she just kind of collapses down to the ground.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast a healing word on her.
Okay, got it. Yeah, sounds good. So go ahead and give me just a healing word roll. Thank you. Oh, nice. So as you cast that, you can see that her breathing comes a little bit more regular. She is color comes a little bit back to her at this point. She just kind of like sort of breathes a little bit more calmly, and her eyes open just a little bit more. And when she kind of fell, her face sort of fell into the pool of blood or the crimson that's there. So when she gets up, she's got kind of blood all along her face, and just tries to kind of wipe it off, which smears all over her clothes, makes her look sort of like a bloody mess at this point. And
Prestidigitation.
oh, nice, very good. As she does, and you press to digitate that off, you oh, okay, gotcha. All right. She says, it was the strangest thing. I came in. I was out of crossbow bolts, and I came in to get a fresh quiver. We were firing at zombies over the wall, and Father's voice. I heard him. He was in the house, and his voice sounded strange, but it sounded like he was telling someone they could come in. It didn't make any sense, and it sounded like he was calm, almost too calm. He was like not himself, and it was almost like someone was or him or using his voice. And I remember came in, and there was this a tall, gaunt sort of silhouette in a sort of super deep, resonant voice. Just remember these eyes, these red, burning, hypnotic eyes I could see. That voice, it spoke to me as a man's voice. I just remember there was this pain. I felt this pain. My father was shouting. Thing went black. And I remember, the last thing I remember is that voice was like, said, "We shall meet again." I don't know what that means. And the next thing I know, I hear my brother sobbing. And I found my father dead on the floor.
Does she?
I don't know. Don't know what happened.
It's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. I'm like cleaning her up and doing prestidigitation, but then also kind of looking to see if she has any wounds.
So you see Rip kind of, well, you didn't see that. Yeah, so as you're looking, you do see that she doesn't really have any like overt wounds at all. But as you see what Rip has typed in there, you do see there are 2 little marks on the side of her neck.
I'm gonna look at Lillaby. Hey, Lillaby. I don't really know what I'm doing here. I just wanted to clean her up, but is she just in shock? She's so pale. And then I'm gonna kind of incline my head at where the puncture wounds are.
Okay.
All right, I'll go over to her to get a better look.
Okay.
Look her over.
All right.
And as I get there, I'll try in my calming voice to, just calm her down a bit.
Okay.
Here, honey, let me take a look. Let me make sure that, everything is okay, and try to figure out, if I can see,
Just like,
tell
yeah.
what's wrong with her.
It's like that pain, it was super sharp, and I felt it in my neck. Are you sure I didn't get cut? Like, can you look over here? And she's kind of like pointing at that area. She's like, I feel like I got, like, I don't know if I got poked there, if like there was an arrow, or I got skinned, but something happened right here. It hurts. Like, I felt it there, and then, like, I think my father was trying to warn me about something. See a wound. Is there anything there?
Can I tell what could have made it?
Probably. I think it's probably pretty obvious to you. I think that you would probably have a pretty good idea. Especially, Rip, do you remember finding a couple things earlier last week? I don't know if you shared those, though. Do you remember that?
Last week,
You found a couple entries, maybe? In the bedroom?
I do not remember that.
Sorry. Does anybody else remember that? Maybe not. Maybe you didn't. So do me a favor, Lil B. Why don't we do a...
Did we... We were in the library and we were looking up stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if you were looking this up, but why don't we do an investigation roll, Lil B? We'll see what you get for investigation. No, it's not your skill. We'll try it. See if you can. Yeah, you figured it out. You know what would cause that. I mean, it's pretty obvious to you. Oh yeah, no worries. So yeah. Well, why don't we take a quick break? Is that all right? We'll take a quick break and see if she's back by then. Does that sound good? I think it's about the time we usually do it anyway. So, yeah, we just took a break. That was all. So, I have a question. Does anybody remember seeing the pages from upstairs? Did I share those last week?
There were...
Upstairs in the tower?
No, upstairs in the... Because Rip went upstairs to the bedrooms, remember, to check them out to get the bottles and there was some papers on the table that he took. Some.
I don't remember that.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember seeing them either.
Okay, maybe I didn't. Maybe that was in my brain that I didn't. Maybe is that nobody remembers that? Then that tells me it was in my brain.
I don't see them in the pictures either. In the
All right.
images.
Well, I'm going to share them because I think it
Are
probably
they
would
in
have
the
helped.
images?
No, well, they're in there, but they're not shared. So that tells me I probably didn't share them. So these were 2 ripped pieces of paper up in the guest bedroom. So this is the first one. If the print's hard to read, I can put it in the text.
Oh yeah, we totally haven't seen this.
Okay, got it. All right, yeah. So this was one of the ripped pages out of a journal or a book that was on the table upstairs in the guest bedroom, and she had commented that they hadn't been in there in a while because they
yeah, I remember. No, I remember this happened, but I don't think anyone actually saw the papers yet.
Okay, gotcha. Well, Rip, you didn't know it, but you shared them.
Okay, I would have.
Yeah, I know you would have.
I'm,
And then this.
I'm an overshare.
So hopefully you can read it. I know it's a little hard. Gemini would not put it all in. It kept cropping it wrong, so I actually had to go into Photoshop and actually, create it myself. So the print's not as clear as I would like.
Yeah. Okay.
And then here's the second page, which looks like it was sort of ripped out of the book, and then half the page was ripped as well.
And who did this belong to?
You guys don't know. It was just
But
sitting
we
up there.
found it in the Burgomaster's
house in the guest room on the table. And when Irina took you guys in there, and I believe when Rip grabbed it, I believe I communicated this, but if I didn't, she said nobody had been staying in that room in a long time.
Yeah.
So, but she had offered it to you guys to stay in for the night.
Sunlight and running water can end their cursed existence.
So that may help with the with knowing, and just so you know, Lil B, you rolled very well. You would know what that was from the knowledge that you had previously, as plus what the notes would have kind of pointed you probably in the right direction as well.
Interesting. So they're trying to maybe turn Irina into a vampire, whoever this is.
All right. So if everybody's good, I think we'll just pick up right where we sort of left off, where she's talking about her neck. Lillaby, you're looking. You ask what it was. You now know what it is, and she's asking you.
All right.
So
I'll turn to whoever's the closest and say, you remember those letters that we read last night? I think it's a case of someone trying to do that process with Irina.
all right. Irina looks and she says, What are you all talking about? Listen, I can handle it. Just tell me what is going on."
Have you heard of these unnatural creatures called vampires?
Of course. The devil Strahd von Varovich is a vampire. We all know what vampires are. He has vampire spawn. Why are you? She puts her hand on her neck. You can see
That's what I'm thinking.
She looks at you and she says, "Why? Why would he kill my father but spare me? And why would he bite me but not take me with him? This doesn't make any sense. Why? Well, I don't understand." Ismark, and Ismark's over there. He's like, "I don't know. Why would he do that?"
Maybe he's toying with you?
Maybe.
I don't think you're safe here.
This is my home.
It may be your home, but I don't think you're safe here right now.
Well, I'm safe here until we bury my father, and we'll bury him tomorrow. But I'm not leaving.
I really feel like maybe we need to leave here as soon as possible, and it's either that or maybe he does take you next time.
You see, she sort of builds up her composure a little bit, and she kind of rubs her neck a little bit. You can see the colors now sort of a little bit back to her. Clearly, now you've recognized why her color is pale. Is probably because she's had lost blood, right? And so she looks to you, and she sort of stands up straight, and she says, "I appreciate what you're saying. We will discuss this in the morning, but my father needs."
How long does the process take? This conversion.
Well, it seems as though...
I am not going to be a vampire spawn, he says. Just drained my blood. I am not turning into a vampire. He would have taken me with him.
There's multiple nights. I think he is toying with you, and I think it's over multiple nights. Has this happened before, or is this the first time
Never.
this has happened?
I've never been bitten before, ever.
Has it happened to anybody else in town?
Well, I mean, there's lots of people that have disappeared from town. I probably have gone to the castle, I'm sure, but nobody in town has been bitten and probably stayed. I mean, nobody has white marks in town.
Well, it
What?
does say that it usually takes multiple nights, so I imagine tonight was his first night then, and maybe, we rest and recover, bury your father early in the morning, and then we get out of town. We got to go to the next town over that we were gonna go and seek some aid.
Do you think he killed my father so he could fight me? Think I'm the reason why my father's dead?
No, I don't think it's your fault at all. It's Strahd's fault.
She kind of looks. She says, "Oh my gosh, I am so sorry." She says, "What a terrible host." Listen, Ismark and I will take care of Father. We'll get him ready for tomorrow. You guys, you need to try to get some sleep. I mean, you've more than earned it. You will probably help save the town, and Ismark is here, and I assume you see Ismark sort of nods his head, and he says, "Irina, they protected the town. They protected the eastern gate. The western barricade had fallen, and I was about dead, but they came and saved my life. They protected me. They came behind me and stood strong at the western barricade as I stood there alone, protecting me." Smiled, and she said, "Of course they did. Please, you guys get some sleep. We'll get things together. We can talk about it in the morning. You'll be safe here. I promise. We'll get the doors closed. It'll be okay. Nobody will invite anybody into our house again."
Do you have any
Promise.
holy symbols in the house? It seems like maybe these vampires, according to this writing, recoil from holy symbols.
Well, I mean, my father does have some symbols for the Morning Lord. I can bring them out, and we can have them.
I would say that
Yeah,
maybe you
let's
should...
go look at him right now.
She says, "Sure." So she kind of goes, leads you out to the bedroom. She takes you with you, Fozzie. I'm sorry. Go ahead, grab it. What were you gonna say?
If there's like a necklace, maybe you should wear it or just have one of them on you at all times.
I have a necklace. But please, Fozzie, come with me. We'll get it. And you see, she stands up, and as she does, you can see she closes her eyes and sort of just tries to get her bearing.
I'll
as she,
support her.
yeah, she's a little
as best
woozy.
I can from 3.5 feet down.
She appreciates it, and she takes a deep breath, and you hear her whisper very quietly, and she opens her eyes, and she says, "Please follow me," and she takes you quickly upstairs. As you see her and Fozzie go away. You can see Ismark is still holding his dad's head cradled in his arms as he looks at the three of you.
Is there anything I can do to help Ismark?
Yeah.
Like prepare his body or anything?
Anna looks down and he says, I didn't get to say goodbye, Dad. I'm
sorry for your loss.
I'm sure he knew.
My dad will never know. I mean, I know he was proud of me, but all he ever heard was Smart the Lesser, and I brought all this death to Barovia, and the last thing he knows is the city was under assault. I just kind of tips his head down, and you can see tears dripping down, and as the tears fall off his face, they fall onto his dad's forehead and sort of drip down his dad's forehead as it happens, and he just sits there and just kind of sobs. I only wanted to do what was best for Barovia.
Oh. You stood with honor at the western gates when most would run away in fear. You're doing right by Barovia. You're giving it everything you've got, and you should be proud.
Just continues to sort of keep his head down, and he looks and he says, I appreciate your kind words, but could have done more.
Here, let me make you some tea. And I've got a nice little pipe that will help you, like, calm down. Give me just a minute.
You can see he continues to kind of tear up a little bit, and he says, I do like tea, and I don't know if I've ever smoked from a pipe. You may have to tell me how to do it.
Oh, honey, I've got years of experience. I'll lead you.
He says, you can see, still tears coming down, and he's like, whatever you think is best. Continues to kind of hold his head. He says, I just need a moment. I appreciate your kind words. I don't feel, I don't know what to say. And he just kind of continues to kind of keep his head down, no eye contact, and tears kind of running down his face.
I'll just pat him on the shoulder and then go find a pot and make him some tea.
All right. So as you touch him on the shoulder, he has that sort of involuntary sort of sob that you get sometimes as you touch the shoulder, as it just sort of lets out that emotion, holds his dad's head, and so you step out, Lillaby, and start to go to the kitchen to make the tea. Rip and Grap, you guys hang out in there with him, or do you go with Lillaby, or what do you guys do? The window is open. The breeze is kind of blowing in. Used to be boarded up.
I'll hang out in here.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, same.
Okay, gotcha. So as you guys kind of sitting there with him, you see he's just continues to kind of hold his dad's head, and as he does, he just kind of rocks back and forth, and just sort of mumbles some things that's not really anything that's kind of coherent at any time. The wind continues to kind of blow. That's there, and as you're sitting there, Grap and Rip, you guys recognize that the window that you're facing is actually the window facing outside the city.
Interesting. Why is it open?
Good question.
I'm gonna go up to the window because this has spiked my curiosity. I'm going to inspect.
Yeah, so as you look, you see that the boarded windows, the boards have been removed from this side, and you see there's a small hammer there, and the nails have been pried out from the inside. And on the outside, you can see off into the woods with the occasional lightning striking. And you can see the woods off into the distance in the rain and the mud. There's nothing out there, but clearly somebody from the inside had opened the window, which had been boarded up.
Oh boy, I'm gonna start reboarding up the window.
Okay, gotcha.
Do
So
I
you kind
see
of
like footsteps out there, or like anything like?
good question. Investigation roll.
Sorry, I asked the question and then I didn't have my character.
No, that's okay. Take your time. And as you're taking a look out there, and yeah, Grap, as you look, you do see what looks like maybe a footstep here or there, but they're definitely very light in the dirt, and it's tough to tell. Is it a large boot, a small boot? But it does look like there may be some prints that are out there necessarily, but nothing you could follow or know where they. And go ahead.
No, I'm just saying interesting.
Yeah, and then Rip, as Grappa's starting to hammer on that, you hear Ismark kind of say, "Right, Father, I it's long. I could have gotten her out of here. I saved you." Kind of reaches down, and you see him sort of puts his lips on his forehead as he says that. He said, "Saved you," and see kind of tears kind of pouring down his eyes as that happens. Willoughby, as you go into the kitchen, you can see that the kitchen is clearly dark. You take if you want a candle in, I know you have dark vision. You see that there's a pot that's in there. There's a bucket of water that's there as well that they have that they can dip in to get water out of it. Anything else in particular you're looking for in the kitchen, or just kind of making some tea for him?
I'm actually making him some tea, but I'm also just looking around to see if I can, pick up any clues, that if there's, just anything out of the ordinary that I can see.
Okay,
Nothing
gotcha.
particular.
Yeah, so as you're kind of looking around, you do see that you kind of go through the pantry and see you do see that they don't have a lot of food in there per se. You can definitely tell that they've sort of been under a siege of sorts, and probably getting whatever is in the city, when for food when they were there. Otherwise, looking around, you do see that there are some quivers of crossbow bolts that were stacked up on the table, which probably were set up for quick grabbing if needed to be. That's there. The other thing that you do see is there is a bottle that's up at the top shelf, which is labeled wine that's labeled Champagne de Stomp from the Wizard of Wines, which you've heard of before, that you've seen there. But otherwise, nothing else of significant.
Okay, then I'll just continue what I'm doing, and
Okay.
then when I get the tea ready, I'll just bring it back.
Okay, that sounds good. And then, Fozzie, as you kind of go upstairs with Irina, she just kind of goes up and she looks to you and she says, "Is this Mark going to be okay?"
I believe he'll get over it eventually. He's reacting as he should to his father's death, yeah.
City folk have treated him poorly. He doesn't deserve that.
No, he probably doesn't. It's unfortunate.
Agree.
Anyways, where are these symbols? These things to the Morning Lord?
Yeah. She goes into her father's room, and as she does, you can see it's a very sort of quaint room. For being the Burgomaster, you'd expect it to be a little bit more elaborate, but with a fairly simple life that you can see. And she reaches into one of the drawers, and as she does, she pulls out pretty much almost a symbol that would stand on the desk that you see, and she grabs it. It appears to be sitting in the drawer for quite some time, sort of tarnished. She pulls out that one, and then the other one that she has is sort of a picture frame that you would sort of hang up on the wall, or a symbol that you put on the wall that she hangs. Also in the same drawer that is underneath sort of a cloth, and she brings both of them out, and she says, "These are the symbols. we don't really put them up anymore since we don't see the sun or the morning light anymore. But here they are, and she sort of hands them over.
She has no reaction to them.
No, none whatsoever.
Okay. Well, does he have any jewelry with these similar symbols, or you?
No, don't really have any jewelry. No real reason to have jewelry. There's not much joy in our lives, I hate to say.
Mm-hmm. Is there a place of worship in town?
There is Church of Barovia. It's on the northwest side of town. Father Dodanovich is there. We'll take my father there to bury him. You don't want to leave the bodies out of the ground for long. Definitely not more than a night.
Yeah.
We'll go in the morning and put him turn him in the ground. Father Dodanovich will say a prayer and protect him from Devil Strahd, I hope, and we'll see him tomorrow. His son, Doru, used to come around here for a while. Way back when we had visitors from time to time. He took an interest in one. But I haven't seen Doru in a long time. But yes, Father Dodanovich will see some. Yeah, so we'll meet him tomorrow.
Okay.
She as she comes down,
Was anybody else in the house when this occurred? The attack occurred?
No, just
you and your father?
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, my dad was here sleeping, or was supposed to be, and the door was secured when I came in to get my stuff, and that's when I heard the voice, and it made no sense that he would be inviting someone in. And the door was locked. I wouldn't have no idea how they would get in. They were there. They were in the room with him. It made no sense. I still don't understand how he got in.
Yeah. Well, I guess let's go back downstairs.
Yes.
Looks like somebody pulled these boards off from the inside.
Yeah.
As you guys come down, you can hear them sort of talking about that. Lullaby, you finished up the tea and are also coming in with a thing of tea. You guys can see Ismark's kind of there, just continuing to cradle the head of Kolyan. I assume Grandpa, you just kind of finished up nailing in the last boards as you do, and so Rip says that.
Yeah, when Lillaby said she was going off for the pot, I thought it was something else entirely. But...
Well, it's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
I'll try to gently move him away from the body and sit him down with some tea.
Resistant, but eventually he sort of does, and kind of gently puts the head down and kind of slides over to the side and takes a tentative sip of the tea. Sort of with a little sob in between each sort of drink there. See, he feels a little bit better with it.
But what do you mean by you wish you would have taken her away sooner?
He kind of looks to you and he says, I don't know what you mean. Irina says, What are you talking about?
Guess maybe I was just hearing things, but I think we figured out how Strahd got in, because this window was unboarded from the inside, and I saw some footsteps from outside.
I didn't open that window, Irina says very abruptly. I would never have opened that window.
I'm gonna just insight to see how truthful I think she's being.
Oh yeah, sure, 100%.
While he's looking at that, when I looked at her neck, did it look like they were fresh, or did it look like it? She may have been more than once.
Great question. No, they looked very fresh, like dried blood on them, like it looked like it just happened.
Okay.
There aren't any other markings anywhere else on her neck, are there?
There is not. No.
I doubt he could get the exact same spot every time.
Yeah. I think that you said you heard a voice that sounded like somebody was inviting someone inside, and according to the research papers that we've found from upstairs in this house, these these vampires, especially very strong ones, can be very charming and maybe even use magic to charm people into doing things they wouldn't normally do. I think maybe your dad was charmed into letting him into the house.
Think he tricked my father into letting him in?
I think it's well within his power to do something like that.
Looks over at Ismark and she says, "Oh my God, Ismark. Is that powerful?" Mark shakes his head. They're all doomed.
That's why I think it's very, very important that we get you someplace where Strahd doesn't know necessarily where you're at. It might be best to go into hiding.
I appreciate your concerns. However, I am from Barovia, not leaving Barovia. Thank you very much, she says to you.
I think it's best if we lay your father to rest tomorrow morning and that we get you out of Barovia, at least temporarily.
Just then, he says, "I appreciate your input. I will consider what you said, but I'm going to let you know that I have no intentions of leaving this town." Ismark just takes another drink of his tea and doesn't say anything as he's sitting there.
It's obvious how powerful Strahd is.
Yes, but where am I going to run? Where am I going to hide?
Well,
Can't you even get out of Barovia?
Exactly.
Isn't there a city that... Gosh, there was a name of a city that was close by that other people had gone to.
Balaki?
Balaki? Yeah.
There is Valaki. Just then, Ismark looks and he says, "Irina, Truda left this morning alone for Valaki." Irina looks and she says, "Why? Why did she leave?" Shrugs. Mother said she went to the castle, probably seeking clemency or village from the devil. Oh, she puts her hand in her. Why would that young girl do that? What was she thinking? Ismark says, "I don't know." She's like, "Can this night get any worse? Can this night get any worse?" Can't believe it. That girl. Oh, I know.
Who is this?
Gertruda. Do you remember Mary? She came into the Blood on the
Mary's
Vine.
daughter. Okay.
Yes, yes. Irina says, I can't believe she left the town. I can't believe it. Mark says, "Well, I sent Korga and Frieza out to eventually look for him in the morning. I'll look for him in the morning." So, listen, I appreciate all of this. As you may understand, I very emotionally upset tonight. I don't know if I can make any decisions tonight. Please allow me to prepare my father. My brother and I need to prepare my father for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, we are going to go to Father Dodanovich over at the Church of Barovia. We're going to inter my father into the ground. And at that time, then we can determine what we are going to do moving forward. We also have to prepare for tomorrow night because the siege will continue. And we have to be ready to defend the city. Ismark shakes his head and he says, "Irina, the siege is over." She's like, "Is that true?"
What do you think that is, Mark?
Aden said the siege was over in his letter. He said that Strahd has taken what he wanted. gave his congratulations and his condolences. Me. I am now the Burgomaster of this town. Behest of the death of my father.
Why would Strahd want that?
Punish me. Teach me a lesson. Show me that I am not Ismark the Great, like my great-grandfather. I'm Ismark the Lesser, that I cannot even do what I would say I'm going to do, and then he puts me in charge of a city that hates my guts. The irony is ripping, isn't it? Puts up the tea and he lifts it up to give a sort of a mock salute. Devil Strahd, the great tactician, takes a drink. You gotta admit, it's genius, right?
I'm glad the siege is over, because I don't know how much long Barovia could have really, realistically lasted with this. But let's rest for tonight. Lay your father to rest in the morning and talk again.
Now, Willoughby, how do I use this pipe?
Oh, I can show you.
Here, have a swig out of my mug.
Good. He takes a swig out of it. Irina just sort of sits there for a second. You can see the color is pretty much returned back to her cheeks at this point. Her arms are crossed over, not upset, just sort of sitting there kind of pondering everything. With her red hair sort of, kind of showing off in the candlelight that's there. They don't have dark vision, so they need candles, right? So they are human. So he kind of works with the pipe a little bit. You hear him cough a few times, and he goes, "Oh, Willoughby, I think that's a little too strong for me, but I appreciate you allowing me to partake in that. I do feel better, though. Thank you."
Yes, this will help you get some rest tonight.
Yeah. Maybe just one more. And he takes another off the pipe. He's like, "Okay, I think I'm good." Do you guys know where your rooms are? I'm sorry, there's only two. You'll have to share.
Oh, that's no problem. We appreciate the hospitality.
Indeed.
We're going to do our Barovian ritual on getting our father ready for his burial. I appreciate your offer, but we're to maintain the dignity of our father as we prepare him. I hope you understand.
Of course. We'll leave you to it in your privacy.
As that, they both stand up, and as you go to walk out, Ismark says, "Thank you. Thank you both. Thank you, all of you. Both are indebted." Bonovich family appreciates all you have done for us.
Of course.
Well, it's the least we can do. Come on, boys.
It's bedtime.
All right.
So as you guys leave, I assume you go up to the upstairs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Willoughby, did you check to see if the old the late Burgomaster had vampire bites on his neck too, drained dry?
I didn't think to look.
He had died from a slash to the chest, though, right?
I think that's what...
That's what I said, yeah.
So it should be fine, right?
As you guys head upstairs, I'm looking at everyone's... Alrighty, so Lilliby, as you're up there, you can hear sort of a muffled argument sort of occurring downstairs. Murmurs between the two of them. You can hear the two siblings are sort of arguing back and forth. I assume you probably would tell everybody what's being said. But if not, I mean, more than happy to.
Oh, no, I would definitely, sure.
All right, gotcha. So as you're kind of sitting there, you hear Irina's voice, and very sharp with intonation, and sort of pierces the silence that you can hear. And as you put your ear against the floor, you can hear she says, "You have no right, Ismark. You can't just decide to send me away. Not like I'm some kind of inconvenience. I'm Father's child as much as you are, and our people need me to rebuild. You need me too." You hear Ismark say, he sounds very kind of measured, and maybe your herbs help him a little more than you think. It's like the devil has set his sights on you. Even if we don't believe the legend about a woman with red hair, others might. Barovia just isn't safe for you. You hear a sort of snort in defiance. I am no coward, Ismark. I will not abandon our friends or our neighbors in the hour of need. It's like, but what about Gertruda? She's out there alone. She needs help. You know her. Just like I said, she probably left for the village. If not, she's at the devil's castle right now. You hear there's like this long silence for quite some time. And you hear Ismark say, "I'm not asking you to abandon our... There are others who need your help. Think of our neighbors who fled to Vallaki. They need help. They need guidance, advocacy. Perhaps you're the leader to bring them home." After another quick pause, you can hear Irina's voice, kind of low and barely able to hear it, and you hear her say, "I still like it." Ismark finally says, "It's your choice. I can't take that away from you. But after losing our father, I can't bear the thought of losing you too." Finally, you can hear Irina's voice, and it breaks, and you can hear just that little bit of a fragile sort of sound to it. She says, "I'll go, but if only for you, and only if we bury Father first, together, tomorrow morning." You kind of hear what sounds like, some chairs that sort of move. And as that happens, you hear footsteps coming up the stairs. And you can see kind of Irina kind of walk by the door, if you guys are all like hiding in the door, right, with the lights off, peeking through the door. And as you do, you can see, as she kind of walks by, you can see her eyes are all kind of blotchy and red, as she kind of walks by. It's to her bedroom.
I'm gonna crawl into my little bed and had a long day. I'm gonna say, Rip, you got the first watch, right?
So, did we get like a short rest sitting down there talking?
Yeah. There you go. Short rest.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna use I get one wild shape back. I'm gonna cast my Find Familiar and set out Luna the Owl, so she can help me keep watch through the night.
Awesome.
Don't kill it.
Try not to.
It's just gonna watch.
Its real name is Droth.
That's awesome. All right, that sounds good. So you set that out. That sounds great. I can't change your token back, by the way. So we're gonna have to figure out how to put your token back. I don't know how to put it back.
I think I can get it.
All right, got it. Yeah, eventually we will. So you guys do set up sort of a rest pattern. Are you all in the same room, by the way? Or you guys live in two separate rooms?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're a close-knit family.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. All right. That sounds good.
And Bear will take my watch.
All right. That sounds good. And you're small people, so one can sleep at one end of the bed, and one can sleep at the other, and you only need two beds, right? Yeah. So all right. Sounds good. So
well, you would think that, but with the way Willoughby sleeps, might not be enough room.
This reminds me of a certain one-shot where we had a bunch of goblins, or maybe a short campaign, evil campaign, where there's a bunch of goblins sleeping in one room. Way back when. All right, yeah, that sounds good. So, so you all are able to get sleep throughout the night. You do get a long rest, so there you go. That's good.
Nice.
So as that happens, you're able to rest through the night without incident. You kind of wake up just a little bit before dawn. As you do, you can hear that the rain has essentially stopped outside.
That's nice. Stretch. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Wonder what's for breakfast. I'm gonna head downstairs. Is Irina in the house, or are they already gone?
Yeah. So as you come down, you again as you step down. No, they're there. They're in the kitchen. They're in the kitchen making breakfast this morning. You do see that again the house. You see that the walls, the windows are all sort of boarded up, and you do see that there is the holy symbols are in the around his body. You do see on that side parlor room that the Burgomaster is in a simple wooden coffin that they appear to have built or had maybe outside the house somewhere that's there. And you can see he has some wilting flowers that are sort of placed inside the coffin with him with the lid open. You can see he's dressed up in his finest sort of clothes as well, prepped very well. They're sort of sitting in the dining room and they are quietly drinking tea when you walk in. They appear to be tired, but are awake nonetheless when you all come in.
How are you feeling this morning, Irina?
Irina looks to you and she says, "Good morning. I'm tired, but I feel better today." She says, "Please have a seat. I'm going to make some porridge this morning." She kind of gets up and goes over to the pot that's on the cooking thing that she has there, and she says, "It's goat's milk porridge. I hope that's okay, and I have some chamomile tea as well."
Sounds delicious, thank you.
See, Ismark is just kind of sitting there, sort of eating some porridge that's there, and appears to be kind of solemnly, sort of sitting there at the time at the porridge and eating, not saying a whole lot.
You sleep okay?
Tough to sleep when you have something like that, but best I could, I suppose. How did you guys sleep? Sleep well, I hope.
Don't recall ever falling asleep, and then all of a sudden I was awake.
Well, I am going to apologize, but I have a few favors to ask. I know I've asked a lot of you already.
What's on your mind?
Let's wait for the porridge. As he says that, you see Irina brings over a bowl and sets it in front of each of you as he does. He smiles and he says, "Thanks, Irina." She kind of smiles back. You can tell whatever had been said the night before, that clearly seems to have been repaired since they have slept throughout the night. As well, first of all, I agree. I agree with you, Grappa. Barovia is no longer safe for Irina. At least not from Strahd, and probably not from our own people. She needs to be escorted here to Wallachia. Asking that you all do that after we bury our father, if you mind doing.
I look to my brothers and sister. I, for one, would not mind at all.
Oh, I think we can do that.
I think the
Sure.
the issue is it's hard to avoid the Devil Strahd when his castle is looming over the village, literally. bearing down upon us. You're able to get Wallachia, which is on the other side of Barovia. Castle wouldn't be as visible, and maybe there's some distance. There is a church there, St. Andrew's Church in Wallachia. Supposedly, hallowed ground immune to any sort of undead corruption. So that's what the stories say. I think that would be the best place to take her. Maybe it could be a place for her to be protected. You see, Irina kind of looks at him almost like she's about to protest, and he says, "I'm not saying you have to stay there forever. It's a place where we're safe until we find out what's going on." Doesn't really say anything. I know that moving Irina across country, especially since vulnerable to Strahd, and from what you're saying, it sounds like he was only able to get into the house because he was invited in, from what I understand. I understand that that's a problem, but I think it's probably the best thing to do, and I've heard that Wallachia is well defended. If you're interested, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, of course.
I would take her myself, but as I've told you last night, I take on my responsibility as the new Burgomaster, and I want to abandon this village. And I know Irina wants to stay as well, but I think it's best for her.
So who do we contact once we get to Wallachia?
Well, my father had given you a letter, you remember.
Yes, I do have it. We still have that letter.
Yes. You can give that to the Burgomaster there, I believe. I think on that letter he has contact. Remember if it was a...
Oh, it just says to whom it may concern.
Let's see. So the Burgomaster there, you could give it to the Burgomaster of Wallachia when you arrive. Somebody that you could up with. Also, there's a noble house. The last name is a Wachter, or Wachter, spelled with W.
Oh, was that Fiona?
You know the name.
Oh, I may have heard your father mention
Yes.
Fiona.
That may be someone else that you could reach out to. I'm not sure if it'll be helpful, but maybe somebody to help. So yeah, Fiona Wachter.
Miss Mark, I do have a question for you. You know that raven that flies around?
Ah, good omens. The ravens. Yes, we talked about that when you arrived into town.
Yeah. So I spoke with one last night and said its name was Muriel. Is that like one of your friends?
What? I think you've been taking a little too much of your herbs.
No, there's never enough for that.
I
I can speak with animals. I've spent some time in the woods.
Really? I've never heard of such a thing. Really? Huh. Wow. He looks to Rip and Fozzie and Grappit and kind of looking to confirm that that's actually true.
I trust her.
Yep,
She says it happened.
I
It's
can do
happened.
it too.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Look, you've seen Bear. He talks to Bear all the time.
Oh, okay. Wow. I don't know a Muriel. Fascinating. I don't know.
Well, just in case, if we ever need to reach you,
Yes.
just know that both Fozzie and I can speak to animals, and
Okay.
if there's ever a case where we need to send one towards you, you can trust them and listen to what they have to say.
Oh, good. Okay. I appreciate that. I always trust ravens. Ravens are a good omen. However, anything else is not good. So only trust ravens. Okay. That is my advice to you.
Is it easy to tell the difference between, like, what other types of birds are there that we should be concerned about? Like, ravens are trustworthy, but, like, say a crow?
I would not trust a crow. I trust a bat.
A bat.
Probably all you're going to see in the land of Barovia. That's all I know of.
For birds? Because I've seen some wolf tracks.
Do not trust the wolves either. They're all agents of Strahd. Rats, mice, owls. Owls, don't trust the owls. Don't trust anything other than ravens. The only good omens. Assume that everything is watching you. It says I also have another favor to ask, if I may.
What's that?
If we are going to break free of the devil's grasp, we need a prophet's eyes to help us. Not just the warrior strength that you all have over to Rip. We need to seek out the Vistani. Are you familiar with the Vistani?
The Vistani? No.
Vistani are people who live here within the Barovia.
Yeah.
They are people that should be no more feared or no more misunderstood than anyone else within Barovia.
Do I recognize this name?
Interesting. Why don't we do a history check?
Just considering like my background.
Yeah.
That's a familiar name to me. I don't know much about them, but would they be in Vallaki, or where would they be?
Vistani are all throughout the lands of Barovia. You cannot miss them. They wear very colorful clothing, travel in bands, tents, typically performers, singers, dancers, soothsayers.
Are they like a seer? Because we read a message about a seer and a horseman.
Yes. They are a seer. They are, and that's actually who I am hoping that you will go see. Her name is Madam Ava. Has put up camp over at Seer Pool, which is just outside of the village of Barovia.
How do you spell Arovia?
Oh, Barovia, sorry.
Oh, just outside here.
Yeah, just outside the village of Barovia.
Okay.
Says she may be able to give us some insight on how to manage the Devil Strahd and how he may be defeated. Rumors that she may have some ideas of that. Must be quiet about it. Strahd notices he may retaliate against us.
Okay.
Can't go on like this. The rats and the wolves spying on us. Children disappearing. Even if Devil Strahd sleeps again. What kind of people would we be to accept this as life, what we live now? Find a way to defeat him.
This seems like a very good idea. We should add it. Maybe we can stop by their camp on our way to Vallaki.
Oh, if anyone knows how the devil can be destroyed and our people can be... It's going to be her. Like I said, if serious about freeing Barovia and yourself from these lands, so you need to ask, but be ready to hear what you don't want to know. I also hear that she is not like other Vistani. She doesn't move. She doesn't leave Barovia. Waits. Waits like a spider. Or a saint. Lies there waiting to see what happens.
Is she evil?
Let's just say that evil is in the eye of the beholder. Evil is what you bring to it. Some people would perceive something as evil and others would perceive it as good. On your angle of perception. That's what Madame Ava is.
You're saying these people may be able to provide some assistance, but we're not necessarily safe there either.
You'll be safe when you walk into the village. They're not going to harm you. But I'm letting you know, these people are not your friends. People work with the Devil Strahd. They are advantageous. They are opportunistic. They are thieves. They deal with deception. And some of them are the eyes and ears of Strahd. Must be careful.
Okay.
But not all of them serve him. Some do. They just survive like the rest of us.
This Madame Eve, or Ava, is she serving Strahd, or is she more just surviving?
I don't know. I think she is there to help us. That is difficult to say for sure. By the way, just a word of warning. If a Vistani speak kindly, you want to listen to them. They laugh, you want to beware of what they're laughing at. Never drink too deeply from their wine. You'll be out of your money and you will lose all of your things.
Well, I think I have a mug that keeps me pretty safe from that risk. I sip the tea out of my mug.
Okay.
Thanks for the information.
Oh, I try to catch it then.
Alright, gotcha. So as you say that, you see Littleby sort of dives out of her chair. Littleby, I'll have you do you can either do an unarmed attack if you want to, or you could do a dexterity saving.
Wait, what's happening?
You just see Littleby
You're
dive out of the
talking.
chair.
Oh, okay.
I'll do a dex save, I guess.
Alright, sounds good. Perfect. So you see Littleby dive out of the chair. Littleby, as you dive out of the chair, you immediately grab it.
And I'll shake it. It's like, what are you doing here? Are you spying on us?
So as you pick it up, you see Littleby grabs this rat, and she has this rat, and this rat's sort of dangling, and she's saying something in a squeaking noise to the rat, unless you say it in regular words.
No, I'm talking to the rat.
Yeah. So you see her kind of squeaking, and as that happens, everybody sort of jumps back, and the rat's like squeaky. And as you say that, Lily, the rat looks to you, and it says, leave me alone. And all of a sudden it goes, eh! And as it does, you see a rapier stab straight through the rat.
From whom?
Turn and you see Irina has skewered the rat with the rapier. She looks at you intently and she says, that is a spy of Strahd.
I know. I was interrogating the rat.
Irina looks at you, and then you could see the look of doubt in her eyes for just a second. She said, I didn't know that. Sorry.
It's okay. I was, most people mistake my squeaking noises just, as a little quirk, but I was actually speaking to him this time.
So she says, I'm just a reflex. There's spies everywhere. They listen to everything. Must be so careful.
Do you think he has already heard the thing or our plan, or?
Well, the rat would have had to go back to report. He doesn't read their minds. Thankfully, Willoughby grabbed it. How did you see it?
I have a nose for these things.
I see. She says, well, I know Ismark has been telling you about Madame Ava. I will add something additionally. I think that I've heard that she is older than this town itself. At least that's what people have told me. And I've been told that even older than Strahd. So she's been around for a very, very long time. And Strahd has slept for over 100 years. I don't know how she has lived so long. So the other thing is I heard she doesn't give answers. She just speaks the truth. So take that for what it's worth. And the last thing is I've heard that she sees visitors, but she only sees you once. And you're supposed to bring her something strange, a gift, not gold, a story or a memory or something that means something to you. Favors those that come with honesty and tell the truth. So if we want something from her, we need to bring her something.
Okay.
And I heard, and she looks over at Ismark and she says, I heard that a long time ago Strahd went and asked her a question himself, and she refused to talk to him. Mark says those are rumors. There's no way nobody refuses Strahd in this land. Is the land. I heard.
We've heard that before.
Yeah,
he is the land.
Yeah.
Mark said, oh, probably from a Barovian, I would assume. It's a fairly common saying here in the town. Where did you hear it?
Oh, the cultist in that house that we ran into when we first got here.
Barovia?
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh. I thought you guys came from the Eastern Road. Didn't you come through the mist?
Yeah, but
Confused.
we came in through a house that was...
No houses out on the Eastern Road. We're the last civilization east in Barovia. The road just leads out to the gates, and then past the gates is woods. There's no houses or any buildings out there. I'm sure you're not confused.
I am very sure I'm not confused.
A house. Do you know whose house it was?
Yeah, the Durst.
Never heard of that family.
Yeah,
Gustav and Elizabeth. They had
Durst.
3 children, maybe?
No, I know every family of Barovia. Durst. Oh, what were their children's names?
Rose and Thorn.
You know the years they were born?
And some
By chance?
little baby.
Walter. Well, there's this invite from 348 Year 348.
What? 348?
Yeah.
Almost 500 years ago?
That is kind of crazy.
You have a piece of paper from 500 years ago.
It says, you're cordially invited to join Mr. Gustav and Elizabeth Durst for a celebration of the 1-year anniversary of the Durst Mill at the Durst residence in Barovia Village.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm like, does this sound familiar? And then I'm going to play the song that I learned.
No, I've never heard that song before.
Okay.
Interesting. I don't know anything about the Durst family or house out there, or said they had a mill of something.
Durst Mill, yeah.
Never heard of the Durst Mill either. Fascinating. The last favor I have is, if you don't mind, could you please help Irene and I carry our father over to the church? I would like to bury him today, if you mind.
You might have to lean down a little bit, but yeah, I'll help you.
We have no family. It's just the two of us, and I'm afraid that the city's busy, and I'm not sure if anybody's going to come help us.
I'm happy to help. Oh, like, when you're ready, you just say the word.
Well, finish my porridge. You guys have finished yours. I think we're good.
Yep.
All right, so finish up the porridge, and they put the lid on the coffin. Just put a couple nails into the top, so that way when they get there, they said that way Father Dodanovich can bless him, right? Pop the lid off so he can do his blessing. You guys kind of go through the town. As you do see that the town is obviously awake. Excuse me. You do see people are kind of milling about, and people give reverence to the Burgomaster. You can hear some discussion. Obviously, the word has spread throughout the town that the Burgomaster had been slain throughout the night. You can see, without any sort of insight, that there is some distrust or a little bit of maybe feelings that the children have sort of let down the city because the father has died, and obviously the rumors probably abound that he died in the house, and the kids probably didn't defend him, and etc. You can only imagine, right, of the rumors that have gone through. But regardless, you pass through the city. Nobody seems to really help at all, and you continue up the road towards the church, which is in the northwest corner of the city of village of the map. The village, I shouldn't say city. Yep. So for anybody else that doesn't have open yet, yep, you can see it over in the top left corner there. So you make your way to the church with the graveyard.
Yep.
As you start to walk up, this is what the Church of Barovia looks like. As you do, you can also see, similar to what I talked about with the Burgomaster's house, you see these large sort of scratches that are kind of on the walls of the building, and you can see this sort of star pattern, which is the Morning Lord's symbol that you had seen with the house as well on the outside walls of the church. As you start to walk up, you kind of walk up towards the door, and Ismark kind of walks forward. He says, I'm gonna go ahead and I can Father Dodanovich. And as he walks up, he knocks on the front door, and you hear a voice off and into the distance. You hear, he won't come out. And as he does, you can see coming around the corner of one of the buildings is Periwinkle. His shaggy hair is kind of hanging over his eyes, and he kind of waves awkwardly, and he sort of smiles. He says, good morning. Hi there. You made it. My uncle says you all are heroes. The people have been talking about you all day, and calling calling you all the little heroes. By the way, I'm going to see if I can get little figurines to put into my room to have each of you, and I'm going to get an elk. I'm going to get a bear, and I'm going to have them in my room. It's going to be great. So
Nice.
I think it's going to be good. But he doesn't want to tell. He didn't say very loud that you guys were heroes, but he did tell me that. I think he's still a little cross about how you guys kind of treated him over at the Vine, except for the bear guy. But yeah, I'm really glad you helped my uncle. He he pretends to be tough, but he cries sometimes at the storeroom. Kind of sad. He doesn't have a lot of friends.
Well, thanks for the update. Are you an acolyte here?
No, oh no, nope. I just wander around town and help out where I can, and I these big muscles. Sometimes I have to move things, and I'm not very smart, but I'm good at picking things up and carrying stuff, and my uncle tells me that I'm really good at moving barrels and things. Like he likes me to help at the store and move things, and I'm just out and about, and I came over to check on Father Dodanovich after the fight to make sure he's okay, but he won't come out. He hasn't come out in days. I think he's scared, or maybe he's sad, or maybe both. Oh, maybe you can help him. He likes visitors more than he thinks. I think. Kind of scratch his head a little.
Where's he at? Let's see what we can't do to help.
Oh, I think he's inside. He's in the church. Hey, do you think he still has that sun pendant? He used to have one, and then he didn't have one for a while. I liked how it used to shine on my face. It was like real pretty.
Ooh, that sounds
yeah. If you talk to him, can you ask him if he remembers that crabapple pie he promised me? I've been saving some room for it, and my belly's just lonely, especially after the siege. I really haven't had a lot to eat. I'd really like to have that crab apple pie. I love the crab apples. They're really good. He makes a really good crab apple pie. So if you see him, could you ask him, for Periwinkle if he has a pie? That'd be great.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for the info. And I'm gonna start heading in.
Yeah. Oh, and if you see Doru, tell him I miss him too, if you could.
Who's Doru?
Oh, it's his son. It's his son. Yeah, his son. His son. He had left town a few before the fight, and then and I think he's back. Everybody thinks he's gone, but back. He used to give me hard candy from his coat pocket, and it tastes like roots. But I liked it, and Father Donovich, he cries a lot now that the son's gone, and no one really visits anymore, and says he misses the Morning Lord. Says Morning Lord doesn't really listen to him anymore. I think I hear Doru in there, but everybody tells me I'm crazy, that he's gone. I think he's crying, or he sounds angry. Maybe he needs more soup. Maybe Father Dodanovich needs.
Okay.
Anyways, I don't know. I think he's still there. I miss him, miss Doru, and I miss Father Dodanovich. I wish he'd let me come in, but he won't answer.
Okay.
You'll ask him about the crab apple pie?
Yeah. Do you want to help us open the door?
Should we? I mean,
we got our hands full with this casket, so it'd be really helpful if you could.
But if he doesn't answer, is it okay to open it?
Yeah, and then we got to do a wellness check,
It's a church, right?
Yeah,
it is a church. Yep. Yeah. You hear Ismark knock on the door again. He yells, "Father
It's kind of a public building, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I guess you could say it is. Yeah, that makes sense, Fozzie. Yeah, it is a public building. So I guess that means I can open the door?
Yeah, I think that you should show off your strength and show us what you can do.
Okay. Is that okay, Rip? Can I show off my strength?
Oh, yeah.
Are you okay with that? Oh, okay. All right. I mean, I'm not too strong, not as strong as Rip, but I can try. He kind of goes over and says, "I'm not going to go in the church. I don't want Father to be mad at me, because you guys could tell him that let somebody else open the door if he's upset. Just say like some random stranger opened it." Don't tell him I did it, okay? Because I want to make sure I get the crab apple pie.
Yeah.
You understand, right? Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah. Oh yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. So he goes over and he says, "Excuse me, Ismark," and Ismark just says, "Okay." He sort of steps aside, and Arena's just kind of snickering in the corner a little bit, and says, "Forgive me, Father." And he kind of grabs the door and he pushes the door open, and the door wasn't locked actually, and the door just kind of swings open. He goes, "Hey, I did it. Don't forget crab apples, okay?" And he
Crab
sort of
apples,
steps to
got
the
it.
side and he says, "Bye, bye, 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 Mister Burgomaster Polion." And he kind of looks at the coffin and just stutters a little bit and kind of puts his hand on it just for a second. He says, "I'll miss you," as he stutters a little bit. And, he kind of walks away. He says, I'll be waiting over there by the by the road entrance."
Thank you.
Sure.
Father Donovich? Hello?
Yeah, so as the doors open, you see that it reveals sort of this 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hallway that opens up into the church. And you know what Mike says, right?
What's that?
There's a map. It doesn't always mean combat. So yeah, so it opens up into a hallway that you can see that's 20 feet long, 10 feet wide. It leads into a sort of a brightly lit chapel. The hall itself is unlit, and it kind of reeks of sort of mildew that you're there. You can see there's 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, that lead into sort of some adjacent chambers. As you look in, you can see that the chapel is sort of strewn with debris inside. There's broken.
Where's
Used-
Arena?
She's with you. I just didn't make a. I'll have to get her
Okay.
sheet on here. She's with you though.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I just want to see her reaction when we walk in.
Oh, gotcha. So you can see that it's there, and you can hear sort of this cracked voice echoing through the gym church, and you can hear it's kind of sort of speaking in this kind of quick kind of discussion that's going on there.
Like a whisper, quick whisper of
Yeah,
some sort.
kind of like a prayer maybe from the priest that's there, and you can kind of hear him saying kind of a prayer under his breath as he's kneeling in front of the altar, and you can see what looks like an older gentleman, probably in his 40s or so, and he's standing there, sort of. Oops, hold on. As he's praying at the altar, some prayer that you're unable to understand, and he doesn't even really notice you.
I'm gonna walk in. Father Donovich.
Bismarck walks in, and so does Irina, kind of with you all as well.
Kind of just keep walking forward.
Yeah, you all kind of walk in, and as you kind of get to there, you see that Father Dodanovich kind of turns his head, and as he does, he sees you kind of walking in, grab up, and Bismarck and Irina will be sort of together on the same mark. As he turns, he says, "Sorry, the church is not available for any sort of blessings. I'm not able to do any of that today. I appreciate you coming in. I'm sorry. I'll have to come back another day."
We must lay the Burgomaster to rest. This is a very important day. We can't delay this great task.
As you sort of say that, he's already sort of turned his back to you, almost as if he's not paying attention, and you can hear him back into his prayer. And he says, Morning Lord, O light beyond the mist, shelter the soul that shivers in the shadow. Let not the hunger of the damned devour the seed of the living. I bind the blood with prayer, I bar the door with mercy. He is still my son, still yours. Shine through the veil, pierce the gloom, bring dawn where none remain. Please, please, I beg you, answer me. This time, please, answer me.
What's going on? Where's your son?
Sorry, no, you shouldn't come. This place is not. This is not for. You can see it clearly appears to be sort of distressed as you're walking in. I'm telling you, I don't have any services here. I'm not in any sort of situation where I can help you. Okay, I apologize. Today is not the day. I'm not able to help.
How can we help you?
Turns around and says, Ismark? Irina. Oh my God, by the light, you're safe. And he sort of turns and he looks. He says, who are you with? Who are these people? Ismark says, these are people that have come to the village to help us. I need to bury my father. This is Grapip, and he kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and says, Rip. I've got Lillaby behind me, who like an elk but isn't. And I got Fozzie back by the door there. Donovich says, I feared the worst. I feared that Barovia had fallen and Devil had taken all of you. I was concerned, and he looked and he said, "It's true. My dreams. Burgomaster, he's dead."
Wait, you saw this happen in your dreams?
Dead.
Does
Heard
this
whispers.
happen often for you?
No. So then he says, "I'm conflicted.
Okay.
The Burgomaster, he stood against the night longer than most. May the Morning Lord carry him beyond the mist. He deserves that."
What happened to all these views in here? They're destroyed.
And he ignores you, grab it, and he says, "Irina, child, you shouldn't be here. He's watching you. I see the mark on your neck." You see she immediately reaches up and puts her hand to it. I could see it. I feel he's watching. It's like a cold wind from the market, from the mountains. He says, "How do you know?" Like, I can see the mark. Like, you must go. You must flee beyond his reach. While the time still allows it. This church, it cannot protect you. Not anymore. This church is not hallowed. You can see she clearly looks distraught by this. She's like, "Father Dodanovich, I don't know. You have to take care of my father first."
Please let us lay him to rest so that we may evacuate.
And he looks and he said, "Did you ask what happened here?"
Yeah, all the pews are destroyed. Is it like this all the time?
He looks clearly pained in the face. He says, You heard it, didn't you? The voice below, the hunger, the hunger."
The hunger? And I take one step. What are
Yeah.
you talking about?
He's like, "Yeah, what's going on, Father?" It's my son, Doru, or what's left of him.
Oh no.
Bismarck says, "What do you mean? Doru isn't here, Father." Ivanovich says he followed that mad wizard to the castle Ravenloft, believing he could destroy the devil. Ismark, you saw him leave. What returned back to me was no longer a boy or a man. Begs for blood, begs for mercy. I've I've prayed without sleep for days for salvation, for guidance, for a sign. Morning Lord, give anything, only silence for answers. Ismark looks at Irina. Irina looks back at Ismark and then looks at all of you guys. Concerned.
Where's Doru?
He's here.
Where?
I did what I had to do. I tricked him. My own son. He returned from the castle. He was not the boy that went to join the uprising. He's not the one who sang the dawn chant beside me as a child. So gaunt, his eyes were black as coal. His voice, my God, it wasn't his voice. Big swallow.
Maybe the best mercy for him would be to put him to rest.
It's not him. It's not him. I see his hands trembling. I begged me at first. He cried for help. I said he was cold, but when I brought him into the church, he struck at me, clawed at the altar. He broke these pews. He hissed at the light. I saw it. His teeth, his hunger, the teeth they extended. He would have killed me. He wanted to. But he was heartbeat. He hesitated just enough, just long enough for me to open the trap door, and I cast him down with a prayer for sealing. And the Morning Lord answered me, but I barred it. I locked it. I poured holy wards on it as I could, but they faded, and Morning Lord hasn't answered me.
Sounds sort of like maybe your son is no longer your son, but maybe a newly changed vampire.
My son is dead. Whatever that is, that's not my son. He died the day he set foot in Castle Ravenloft. Whatever returned, this place wears the skin like a cloak, a voice like a mask. It mimics his pain, knows my weaknesses, but that's not him, not anymore. First, I thought it was him. Thought I could save him. I prayed, kept him close. The Morning Lord, I asked to show mercy, that he would shine through the dark and burn the corruption out of my boy. There is no light in the thing's eyes. There's no soul. There's only hunger, mockery. Now every day it calls to me by name, up through the floors, not with love, but with venom. Laughs at me. It whispers prayers back at me, twisted and wrong. I should have destroyed it long ago. I ask you, please, go down into the Undercroft, destroy it, end it. Give my son's bodies peace. Deny the devil another spawn, please. Holds my holy symbol. The holy symbol of the Morning Lord. I gave it to him. I thought it would save him. The devil mocks me with it. Does it on purpose. That symbol is older than this church. It's older than Barovia's despair. Any light remains in this valley, it burns inside that symbol. I think that's why the Morning Lord has left me.
Well, if we do this for you, I think that symbol might help Irina. Would we be able to use that symbol to protect her?
What about the village? Don't you think the protecting many is worth protecting one? I mean, no offense, Irina, but the village needs it. The city needs a priest. Needs someone to protect us all. I need the Morning Lord to return back to us. I mean, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, you're probably right. What do you guys think?
What do you mean? I think we should probably get rid of this kid.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
It's not
Give
my
the
kid.
symbol back to Lord Donovich so that he can help protect Barovia?
Yes.
Okay. Where's the opening to the undercroft?
So it's over here, and he kind of points down back the hallway, and the door on the side. Let's do the one that's right there. I open. As he does, he pulls out of his pocket a key to a padlock, and he hands the key to you, almost shaking. And he says, "I I appreciate you helping. I I am more than happy to do the proper burial rites for, obviously, for the Burgomaster, and I promise that I can tell you a place of find safety from the Devil Strahd. If you help me with this, I really it's a lot."
Of course. Anything we can do to help.
Ismark says, I think I should stay upstairs with Irina. I think that we should not expose her to
Correct.
Doru. Don't disagree. Irina's like, I can handle this. I don't know why you keep trying to protect me.
Let us handle this. And why don't you guys prepare your father for burial so that once we handle this situation, we can get him buried quickly.
You going first, Rip?
Yeah.
All right. So, Rip, as you get there, you see that the padlock is there. You see lots of symbols of the Morning Lord sort of all over the room, as well as on top of the padlock for the trapdoor. You see there's lots of chains that are sort of interlocked across it as well. It appears to be very, very well secured.
All right, I'll try and break them off.
All right.
Or did he give us a key?
Yeah, he gave you the key.
Oh, okay. Well, unlock
All right.
that.
Okay, so you pop it off. What's the order? It's kind of like some steps going down, essentially, like a ladder.
I'll go second.
First.
Trap is always first, right?
I'll go third with Bear.
All right, got it.
Okay, I guess I bring up the rear.
All right, sounds good. So as you kind of make your way down there, you see that the door opens, and you can see that there's a set of stairs that go down. The ladder essentially is about 20 feet off of the floor. So as you make your way down, it's a dirt floor that's there, and you see there's wooden pillars that sort of hold up the ceiling itself underneath the chapel. Clearly it's pitch black, but you do see there's some candlelight from the chapel above that sort of slipped through some of the cracks. But as you immediately look down, you see that the basement essentially appears to be empty, except for there's a couple like coffins that are sort of laying down there in the basement that have sort of been thrown down, probably. Get you all on there in just a second. Ozzy, you were second. I'm sorry, is that right?
Third.
Third, thank
yeah.
you. And Lillaby, kind of put you on the corner there. Alrighty, and as you kind of look into the room, and see where you're at, kind of coming down, see sort of an empty room that's there as you make your way down.
Do I hear anything?
You can do a passive perception if you want to. You can hear Dodanovich talking to Ismark upstairs, sort of in hushed tones.
My passive perception's 13.
Okay, no, you don't.
Okay. Sorry if you hear my cat meowing.
Oh, that's okay. No worries. It's all good.
Very loud.
I'll move forward.
Okay, yep, I think I have it unlocked, so if you want to move into the room. As you slowly kind of make your way into the room and kind of look around, You're walking on the dirt. That's obviously the floor is uneven, as you can see there. Willoughby, I'll get you off whatever that is. You're able to move. I don't know if you were stuck on a wall or not. And you guys get down there. You can kind of feel yourself walking through the floor. Rip, as you kind of step there, sort of in the opposite corner towards the northwest, you hear a young man's voice. It sounds sort of strained and tired. It kind of echoes across the room, and you hear, "Come to kill me, haven't you?"
Yep.
From the darkness somewhere, you can hear it coming out, and he says, "If you want to kill me, I won't stop you. But I just have one request first."
And what's that?
I just ask that you give me a chance to show that I've redeemed myself.
Okay.
I can fight this back. Just need help. Are you willing to help me?
Is there some sort of insight check I can do to see if this
Sure.
person is just lying to us and
Yeah,
trying
of
to lure
course.
us?
Yep, 100%. As she's doing that and sort of listening, um if everybody wants to do a perception check, you're more than welcome to do that. So you can kind of hear the sound. The question is can you identify exactly where it's hiding? I know that you all have dark vision. I understand that, but the question is are you able to identify exactly where this voice is hiding?
You said
So,
perception?
yeah.
Why don't you come out and show us your face? I'm gonna like do a little prestidigitation shower of sparks
Okay.
in the northwest corner where I last heard his voice.
Okay. So as you do that, you see sort of in that corner the sparks sort of flash that's there, and you catch a glimpse of something up in the top corner of the ceiling. And as that happens, you see that. He says, "Oh, that's so bright. I haven't seen light like that in a long time."
Doru, what happened when you went to Strahd's castle?
You see he's up on the ceiling, right? His feet are sort of stuck on the walls. You can see his hand is there as well. Um, and there is nothing else that's sort of holding him up there other than his. As he says that, he sort of unfurls himself, almost like a moth from a cocoon, or moving like a spider. He sort of slowly lowers himself down onto the ground. Um, and as he does, you can see that he looks very similar to Father Dodanovich, but he just looks obviously a lot younger. His skin is very pale. He's got dirt and grime over his face. His fingernails are very long, but they've got definitely dirt in them. The eyes appear to be, I know it's, discolored, which you assume is red and bloodshot. You see his gaze kind of darts back and forth between all of you. He has a leather cord that sort of hangs around the neck, and you can see he's got this blood-stained bronze starburst symbol that rests against his chest. He swallows as you ask, and he licks his lip, and you can see there's pointed fangs that poke through his. And I'm sorry, what was the question you asked again? Can you ask me one more time? I'm sorry.
What happened when you went to Strahd's castle?
It says, Yeah. Yeah. We're foolish. I'm happy to tell you the story if you want to hear it.
Yes.
Um, when I was a boy, I used to read by candlelight when my father told me not to, and favorite book was a book called Van Richten's Guide to Vampires. Have you read it?
I have not.
Ah, love that book. Um, it gave me hope, and it said that these monsters could be destroyed, and so I read it day in and day out, and I knew that someday the sun would return to the valley, and I wanted to be the one that drove the devil back to his grave, um, even to the point where I had Ismark teach me the sword, be able to do that. I thought if I studied hard enough and fought hard enough, prayed loud enough, he could bring the dawn. Um, I I I, I grew and read that book. I almost memorized it, but direwolf came, a thing of bones showing through his skin. The children were trapped outside as they were playing, and the scholar that was staying in town, Alnick Ray, he arrived several months. He was staying in Barovia with the Burgomaster's manor. Was staying there. Suddenly, he wielded this steel and light. It seemed out of place for a scholar. I've never seen one do that before. That fell off, and the disguise failed. Knew that face. I had seen the sketches in the back of the guide. Knew who it was. It was Van Richten. Couldn't believe it. He tried to hide it. I begged for him to help. I told him, I said, if he wouldn't lead us, I swore I'd march on the castle myself. So, for several times, I cornered him that night. I told him we needed a hero, that I would wait no longer, and I meant it. It was foolish. I threatened to rally the youth of the Barovia all by myself. Eska, my closest friend, I helped gather them. He was a bard. He believed in the cause. Van Richten relented. He told me, he said, you're not good enough. You're not strong enough. You can't do this. Strahd is too strong. But eventually he came around on one condition. He said that I needed to call him Alanik. Couldn't risk tipping Strahd off. I agreed. God forgives me. I've agreed. Marched with the fire in our hearts, the faith in our blood, 24 of us, torches high. We fought the first wave of undead. Van Richten led the charge, but then Eskar vanished, just gone. Don't know where he went. We traveled through the castle, made it to the crypt. We got to Strahd's crypt. It was empty. That is when it happened. Strahd descended. It wasn't even a battle. It was a massacre. I remember the smell of the stones. Wet, cold, ancient. I stepped out of those shadows. Not in anger, not in fear. Just amusement. He moved like mist. One by one, my friends were torn apart. I saw Ismark's cousin, Mael. His arms were gone even before he knew he was struck. I heard Eskar calling for a retreat. Gone. Lifted them all by the throat, whispered something, bit him, drank deep. I screamed, I ran. I awoke in the dark, bound. I don't remember how long I screamed. Strahd made me drink from the dead. Made me feed. My friends would laugh, watching my shame die in that hall. I woke in a tomb. Fed me blood. My own, not even fresh. It's too weak to resist. Once drank. Felt it. Silence where my prayers used to echo. Don't become a monster all at once. Slow. Thirst change you. Makes you forget the sun. Your mother's voice. Father's prayers. Soon, you remember nothing but the taste of blood. Feel my soul slipping. Something held on. Maybe it was this symbol. Maybe it was Gertruda.
You know Gertruda?
My betrothed. Love her. Miss her. She was always there in my dreams. Knew if I came back, if I could just get rid of that taste of blood, be married, miss her.
I'm sorry for what happened to you. Did Von Richten survive or did he die?
Don't know what happened to Von Richten. He disappeared in the battle. Don't know if he's gone or he's alive. Things were so chaotic in there. One moment we thought we were being victorious, just to find out all a game to Strahd. He was just playing with his food. It's to his amusement. How foolish were we? It's all a game. He sent me back here. Strahd. He told me. He said, ruin the church. Torment my father. I tried to resist him. I did. Hunger claws at your thoughts like worms in your mind. I didn't want to do it. My father, he trapped me down here. I was grateful. First, I was grateful to be caged. Thankful. I was worried. I thought I would go mad down here, and I thought that I would grow angry at my father, but I think the light of the Morning Lord is trying to guide me home. I wear it. Even now, I wear it right here. Just like this. He puts his hand on it. Sometimes when the hunger is too strong, I hold it. I press it against my chest and I remember who I was, who I am. Father thinks I'm gone, that I've died in this body is a mockery, but I'm still here. I swear it. If I can prove it, if I can resist, maybe I can earn back a sliver of my father's faith.
Are you happy with this existence? Do you wish to keep living or unliving?
I want to live. I think I can live. I think I can do this.
I'm just gonna look at my family members. I see that Riptide has a set of manacles in his hand.
I just shrug. You're leading this, Pip. What do you think?
I don't trust him. Not after reading those pages.
Once a bloodsucker, always a bloodsucker.
The town needs that pendant to keep safe, and if we take it off you, I fear that you'll become what you were created to be, which is...
If we take it off him, he won't need it anymore.
I'm telling you, I can beat this. I can prove it to you. I can.
I don't know.
So what kind of help do you need?
Yeah.
I can do it. If you don't mind, I can do this. And if you don't believe me, then like I said, you can kill me. If I can prove it to you, if
how high up
Prove it to me right now, and then I take a small dagger out and I cut my hand.
That's what I need. I need fresh blood. You're right. And you see, he says, "Oh, I can smell it. Oh, it smells
Control
so
yourself.
good."
I'll jump up and try and hit him.
No, I think he's down on the ground, isn't he?
Yeah, he's on the ground. Yeah, he made himself come down. And he says, you see his muscles tense, and he squeezes his eyes shut for a few minutes, and you see his nose flares. A thin line of saliva starts to drip down, or along his lips, and sort of drips from the corner. And he kind of whimpers, and you see his claws, fingers sort of flex and twitches. He says, "Shadows are coming. not evil. Destroy temptations, its weapons. Face the night and its horrors. I await the light of the Morning Lord's love only. You hear Doru's voice shakes. His emaciated body is sort of trembling. One fist is clenched at his side, the other is squeezing the blood-stained starburst that lies across his neck. Light of the Morning Lord's love, he repeats. Light of the Morning Lord's love. And the light of the Morning Lord's love. Gertruda! 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 I need you to roll a d6 for me, Rapid.
And then at the time I say, Lillaby, do you sense any mice around here for him to feed on?
Good point. After what feels like an eternity, as you're standing there, you see Doru's body finally relaxes. His tense muscles seem to uncoil, and his breath grows steadier. A look of strain fades from his face. His eyes remain closed for a moment longer, and they sort of flutter open. As they do, you see the fangs in his mouth slowly retract, leaving only an ordinary pair of canines. I haven't, not yet. Oh my gosh, I'm so thankful. I can't believe it. I've done it. I did it. Oh my gosh, this is great. He kind of jumps up. I can't believe it. And he reaches around, he takes the symbol off his neck and he hands it. He's like, I've done it. I can't believe it. This is amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Does he still have the symbol around his neck, or did he just take it off?
He just took it off and handed it and put it out, extending it to you.
I'm not gonna reach out with the bloodied hand.
Okay.
I'm gonna reach out with the unbloodied hand.
Okay. All right.
And then I'm gonna ask him, can you feed on animals, or do you have to feed on people?
I don't have to feed on anything. I've defeated it. The Morning Lord has saved me. I can't believe it.
You're gonna need to feed on something.
No, I'm not. I'm fine. I'm good. I want to tell you. So I'm going to let you know that that Van Richten he has an emergency case. There's an emergency case outside of the village of Barovia. He said that if you needed it, he told me. He says we're not ready, but he told me. He said there's an emergency case. It's outside. It's at the river of Ivis at the crossroads. There's a tree. It's about 300 yards off the road. This is where it's located. And he kind of gives you some directions for that. And he says, this is where you want to be, okay? Because I'm telling you, the case is there. And I want to tell you too, Van Richten, he didn't want to come with us, right? I actually threatened him. And he told me that we weren't going to do it. And I showed him his book, and when I showed it to him, he ripped out pages out of it, and he was so mad at me. And he said I should have listened to him, and he says you're not allowed to have these pages, and I didn't understand at the time, but it was how to create a vampire and things like that, and he said he wouldn't allow me to have them. He took them somewhere, and I lost that book, but that book would be so helpful if you can find it.
Do you know where that book is?
I have no idea. He took it. I don't know where it's at. I got it from the Vistani like a long time ago. Maybe they have a book that they have that maybe could help you. Maybe there, and which would be great. I think that what I'm going to do though is please tell my dad that I'm down here and to tell him he could keep it locked. That's fine. But and he can have some people come and they can open it and give me food down here until we know for sure that I'm okay. But I think I am, and I think I'm getting better, and I think I'm going to be okay.
Willoughby, is he going to be okay?
How would I know?
I don't know.
Where is he right now?
He's still in the corner where he was before. Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry that you guys can't see him. I apologize. Thought I had shared. I saw your guys' insight checks too.
doesn't seem like vampirism is that easily healed. So I think you need to come up with
I think
plan.
if I continue to pray, and I think if I continue to to not stay away from blood and to work my way through this, I think I can avoid this. I do. And I'll stay in the basement and I'll work with my father. I think tell my father I love him. I think I could get better at this. But
Tell me something that only you and your father would know.
takes a big breath and he sort of sits there and it's about it, and he says, tell my father that I've always wanted to take a boat under the Seer Falls. He will know that that is me.
Okay.
I've always talked about that as a kid whenever we would travel to Wallachia. He will know that that's me.
Are there any like dead animal bodies in this crypt, like rats and stuff?
Good question. How about an investigation roll? As you kind of look around, as you're kind of talking about that, he says, I want to tell you that have you met Strahd yet?
No.
He starts to watch you. He will watch you the whole time. Always curious about people in the area. You do see a small rat that's in the corner that's been dead. Not an alive one, a dead one, Fozzie.
I'll inspect.
Okay.
I want to see how it died.
Okay, got it. Sounds good. It looks like give me a nature roll for it. He says Strahd doesn't hunt like a beast. He works more like a lover. He studies it, he waits, he tests it. Doesn't draw he doesn't choose things randomly. Ozzy, you can't really tell. You don't see any like bite marks if that's what you're looking for. You don't know if it was poisoned or if it's starved or he says Strahd he's drawn to you because it reflects something back at him. Maybe a dream that he had, or a feelings that he lost, or maybe a challenge he wants to take. Most of the time he sort of ignores things until it becomes something that he can't resist. He first he'll your thoughts like in dream. Gives you a choice. It could be small. It's never just a gift, it's sort of a tether. He'll charm you or break you, or worse, he'll make you want him. That's how he wins. Not through fangs or claws, but more pulling you in. Don't worry, he'll be watching you. He'll toy with you. At least that's how he started with us. Esker said that he felt powerful in Strahd's presence. He told me that as we were marching to the castle. He said it was like being seen for the first time.
I think he's still watching you.
Don't know.
You seem to be trying your best, and I'm really not about killing people unless they're harming others. But I really don't want to come back here and hear about you massacring this entire village.
Once Gertruda comes down and sees me, everything will be fine. I just need my betrothed. We'll be fine. Life will be good. Can't wait for her to see me. I'm sure she is missing me dearly.
how much time do you think you have?
Oh, I think maybe a day or two, maybe a week. I think I can work through it.
What happens after that?
I'm back to my normal life. I'll probably follow my father's footsteps. The Morning Lord has definitely guided me in the right direction. My prayers have been answered. Sure, my father's help, his prayers and them being answered, plus with me, the combination of us are very powerful. I know my father is very strong with the Morning Lord, and that Morning Lord has had all his prayers and then some.
I'm gonna do a medicine check on him to see if I think he's actually better.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, you don't see anything that looks like he's ill or anything wrong. His teeth have definitely retracted compared to what they were before.
And a history check to see if I think that this is actually a viable plan.
All right, sounds good.
I think that this is actually legitimately going to work.
Well, I mean, with your roll, I mean, your score was an 18. So with the history that you have and the things that are there, I mean, it doesn't seem like a great plan. But on the same token, um, doesn't seem terrible. At least the teeth are better, and he seems just okay. I mean, I don't know, tough to say.
I'll go over to Grapp and say, you know something? We read that book. They can hide their teeth when they want to, and you know, I'm thinking that this is all a ploy by Strahd, who's got him under control. He can make him do whatever he wants. He can probably pretend to be the Morning Lord in his mind, and make him think he's got this beat. And then as soon as we turn our backs or whatever, he's gonna revert. I don't think there's. I don't think this is a controllable disease.
Wise words, Fozzie, wise words. And I take a step back.
I got it.
And just nod at Riptide.
Rip.
What's that? I missed it.
Oh, I just said I understood what Fozzie was telling me, and then I looked at Riptide and nodded.
It's time for some monkey business.
All right, I'll hit him.
Okay, all right. Um, so go ahead. I mean, you guys could roll for initiative if you. Oh, double 17s. Oh boy. Nice. All right, Rip. Go ahead and give a swing and go ahead and hit.
I'll use one of my focus points to get my special abilities.
Alrighty, sounds good. So that's a hit.
I will try and grapple him. Do you want strength or dexterity?
I think strength would be good for him.
He saved it.
All right, got it. So yeah, so you hit him. So as you hit him, he goes. Oof.
I'll use a bonus action, or actually, I'll just send 2 more times.
Okay. Nice. That's another hit.
That's it.
All right. So as you hit the second time, you see Doru literally kind of falls down into a ball and says, "Father, Father, it's not gonna work, Father."
I'm going to first level spell. Is that 30 feet? I can't remember where it.
Let me see. I think you're right up on him.
Yeah. And then bonus action. Yeah.
Good pick.
And I just gotta put this on myself there.
All right, I'm sorry, Lilby.
So you've got him prone.
Yeah, I forgot to
Okay.
put it on, but he's prone. Yep, thank you. I was just grabbing it, actually. It's funny you said that. Should have locked it.
All right, I'm gonna cast Starry Wisp at him. I
Okay.
don't know why it rolled 3.
That's all good.
Oh, I had myself targeted.
Got it.
Oh, I missed him.
Okay, got it.
Bear's gonna go after me.
Okay, all right, got it. Thank you. Sorry. Ozzy, you didn't have a chance to go, so you want to go real quick, and then we'll put you back on top. So you can go. You can go twice. That's fine.
Okay. I'll use my bonus action to put Hunter's Mark on him.
Okay.
Then I go again?
Yep, you sure can. As that happens, he says, "Father, I have sinned. This is my penance. I'm far sorry, Father. Never left you."
Bear will move to there.
Okay. Boom. You're going to add 1 die, so you're going to right-click when you're grabbing the dice to drop onto it. And unless you roll all ones, this should pretty much do it.
Oh.
Nice. So as the bear sort of tears him apart, you can hear his sort of like down he goes.
I'm not sure which father he was talking to.
Good call. Well, that's deep. That's deep.
We should probably also lay this poor soul to rest.
I think a cremation's in order.
That seems reasonable. Let's go upstairs and report to Father Donovich.
I'll check and see, or make sure that he's really dead.
All right, gotcha. So the other group kind of heads up, and Lilby, you kind of reach down, and anything particular, like what would you do to check to see if he's dead, or what would you do to make sure he's dead?
Well, was there anything, I'm reading through the note again, was there anything in there that would tell us how to...
Yeah, great question.
They must return to their coffin crypt or graves to rest by day.
Oh man. Sorry guys, I'm pitter-pattering out. I'm getting
Yeah,
tired.
we're wrapping up.
All right, I'll just see if he's got any pulse, and then I'll go back upstairs with everybody
He
else.
doesn't, and I don't think there's any notes there that say that anyways.
Okay.
So, what we'll do is we'll have you guys tell him real quick and then burial. So you guys head upstairs, and you see Donovich, Father Donovich, standing there with Ismark and Arena, and Father Donovich appears to be looking at you very hesitantly as he's staring at you as you come up.
The deed is done.
Are you going to give him the symbol?
Yeah, I'll hand over the symbol and I'll tell him his son's words about taking a boat through the water of...
Seer.
Yeah.
Father Donovich's eyes sort of well up with tears as he clasps the symbol with his hands, and he holds it tightly in his knuckles as they begin to turn white, and hear a sort of a strangled sob kind of escapes him as he sinks down to his knees, cradling the starburst symbol almost like an infant holding it, and you hear him say, "Boy, dear precious boy. Morning Lord, forgive me for what I have done, for what I couldn't do. Failed you, not only weeks ago, but today as well." He swallows, face tenses, and you can see his expression grows hard as stone, and he looks to you and it says, "It had to be done. For his sake, ours." And as he stands up, you can see it's a man of sort of determination with no emotion whatsoever on his face. And he says, "I feel that we need to conduct Colin's burial before the night comes, the cemetery comes alive. Please, let's grab the shovels from the shed. Bring the body to the back. I will speak the story of this prayer." As you guys walk around, you can see that you step out, and Donovich leads the way, and Arena and Ismark and yourselves grab the coffin as you go, and you can see Perry Whipple sort of standing over there and kind of starts to walk in your general direction that way. I'm just going to finish this up here, if I may. And he reads the prayer, and he says, "O morning Lord, the Lord blessed light, patrons of new beginnings, we commend into thy mercy in the radiance of Master Kolian Dranovich, now departed hence from us and gone evermore into your glory. We beseech thee, and grant upon him the mercy and everlasting peace. As thou delivereth him from the everlasting darkness into the infinite life, from pestilence into growth, from shadow into day, from death into new life. Grant him the entrance into your land of light and joy, in fellowship of thy saints, the brilliance of thy presence, by your will and grace." At the end of Donovich's prayer, you see Ismark kind of wipes his eyes, and he says, Ivan Adranovich bore all the qualities of a great Burgomaster. He was kind, compassionate, and just. But above all else, he was our father, a man who taught us courage over fear, hope over despair, and laughter over sorrow. Even though he left us, his lessons and memory will never leave us. May he find rest in the Morning Lord's embrace. May his legacy never be forgotten. Marina stares at the grave for a few moments, her fingers twisting anxiously in knots. Finally, she says quietly, "You found me, I was a stranger, a child lost in the world. You and Mother took me in and cared for me, loved me as your own. When I ask you why, you only ever said, because I needed it." She faltered, choking on her words, and said, "I can never hope to repay what you gave me, but just as you did, I will never stop trying to help those who need it." At that moment, you can see she kind of twists her fingers in between, and you hear Periwinkle over on the side, and he says, "We'll miss you,